And we're live. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to TRE.
TRE
The
2023,
TRE Live.
the running event. Is there a lot of running going on this week?
There's been a lot of running going on this week. I think there was a 5K this morning, cross country 5K. Was it cross country or was it both?
No, it was just a 5K.
Cross country 8K.
Cross country 8K.
And what a day to do it too, because it's a little bit rainy outside, like
Yeah.
true cross country feel.
So this is probably why I never did cross country in school, because if you're saying it's a true cross country field because it's muddy and disgusting,
Yeah, it's awesome.
that's against my whole thing.
No way.
Yeah.
I love cross country. I did. I'm too old for it now, but I did back in the day.
Tell me why you didn't run this morning.
I didn't run this morning because the bed was super comfy and it was foggy outside. I didn't want to get lost. It's a strange city.
Two very good reasons. Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna drill down a little harder on that one, but I'm gonna leave that one where it's at. Good job today. You're doing great already.
Yeah, off to a great start.
Yeah, off to a great start. So, what do we got going on today? We have a bunch of different guests today. So, if you are watching the live stream, thank you. Hopefully, you watched yesterday. If you did not, you can go back and check it out on the Running Events YouTube channel.
But do it after.
Don't
today.
do it now.
Don't do it now.
Watch this.
Yeah, watch
and
this
then,
one first.
Best practices to watch this would be to send it to a bunch of different people so that they can also watch it with you. It's almost like a viewing party around the world. That's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, the kids say like and share it.
Like and share.
Yeah,
like, share, subscribe.
Yes, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, TRE needs the subscribers as well.
I just want people to see me on here.
I know you do.
Yeah.
I know you do.
All right. So next up we have Saucony. Let's do an intro because the lady that is representing Saucony is very special and has a list of things that I don't want to read because I'll be jealous while reading it. So
she's bringing some bona fides for sure. Yeah. This is Sharon Barbineau. She is the head of public relations and trail strategy for Saucony. She actually ran in the very first marathon, U.S. women's marathon trials back in 1984.
Hot dog.
Which is amazing that the first marathon trials was only in 1984, not sooner.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I thought that was a very cool stat. She's also a former 50K national trail running champion. So really just awesome stuff. She's a trustee of the Women's Sports Foundation, which is founded by tennis legend Billie Jean King. I can go on and on, but let's bring up Sharon now so we can talk about all things Saucony.
All right. So we're just gonna slide this back a little bit so you got some room.
Put my earphones on.
Phones on.
That right there.
There you go. How are you feeling, Sharon?
I am feeling wonderful. I'm in my passion place here at TRE, but more important, it is an honor to be with you, Tommy and Gary, and
thank
what
you.
you're creating. I'm just going to put this right here and speak right into it, okay?
There we go.
There we go. And, what we've seen here at TRE and how it continues to grow and all the runs that we've been on, and to see the diversity of people that have been out there. I've been in this for a very long time, and just to see how that is growing now, it touches my heart.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being on the show. And one of the things that I was here last year, and they had at the Saucony booth, it had like a moon man or something like that. Can you explain a little bit about that, and then also a little bit about the history of Saucony? Because this ain't a new company.
No.
Been around
we'll
doing
get
some
to
things.
the moon boot in a moment as I talk about the history. So those
But
of
you guys got a big birthday coming up, right?
Well, we're celebrating it right now, Gary, the 125th anniversary. So Saucony was founded in 1898, which was 2 years after the first Olympic marathon and 1 year after the first Boston Marathon. So the brand was destined to become a running brand.
Yeah.
And it was, for those who don't know, it was founded on the creek, the Saucony Creek in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. The Native American inhabitants coined the word of the creek, Saucony, which means mouth of a creek or a river. And what a lot of people don't know, the logo on our shoe represents the flowing water of that creek and the strewn boulders, 1, 2, 3 major boulders in that creek. So
listen,
That's
That's a really dope story. Because and if Gary told me that story, I would assume he's lying because that's too good.
It's exactly what it is. So 125 years we have of heritage, innovation, authenticity. And this year we've been excited to create some really cool, innovative products. You know, during the COVID running boom, right?
Yeah.
Everybody said there was a running boom,
Mhm.
but it was actually a running shoe boom because people were going out to buy running shoes for comfort.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, still today, 69% of running shoes purchased are for comfort.
Yeah.
People want that cushioning.
That's been a big topic of conversation this past couple of days.
Right.
Yeah.
And so one of the products we're very proud of coming out, I'll make this real quick, is our Hurricane 24th version. But it's our max cushioning shoe,
Mhm.
3 layers of comfort and cushioning. And it's a shoe that hugs your foot. And one other shoe you'll be seeing with us again, because trail running is very important to us, is the Exodus Ultra 3. This is a shoe. We added 23% more cushioning in this shoe
All right.
for ultra runners who are spending time out on the trail. But I don't want to just talk about shoes with you.
Well, I mean, I like that though. I like
Yeah.
the
Oh, and the moon boot.
So no, talk to me about the moon boot. We
Okay.
can't let that go by.
No, Saucony produced the first boot that was used in outer space for that
Oh.
first space walk. So, you know, if
It's
we
literally a
can
moon
walk
boot.
in space,
Yeah.
we can run on the earth.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that would be a good yeah. Like, I mean, one qualifies the other for sure. I think that like I think this year or before like this birthday period is over, I feel like they should launch a shoe that looks exactly like the moon boot with a trail bottom, right?
Yes.
So that put it to work, see what's up.
So when we get on the moon, we have some good grip on that dust.
Or at least as high, like high on a mountain somewhere. You know,
That's
you
Yeah.
right.
I mean,
could-
the first moon 5K, you're gonna have to have the right shoes for that, right, with
You heard it here
a
first.
tremendous amount of comfort.
Saucony is here at TRE to announce that they're going to be hosting the first Moon 5K.
It's going to happen.
All right.
It's going to happen.
I won't be there.
No. But if you don't mind, what I would really like to talk about,
Yeah.
and it really has to do with some of what you've been doing in your life, is our mission at Saucony. And that mission is to inspire and actually invite everyone to experience the transformative power of running, which you, Tommy, know, okay, in your own life. And what we're doing, and this is part of a passion for me and all of our brand. So right now we have to reach out and give access to everyone. And that begins first with our children. We have the Saucony Run for Good Foundation for since 2006. We give grants to inner city programs. It's all about fighting childhood obesity. We have partnerships with Black Girls Run, Black Men Run. We're a sponsor with the RIDC Run we had yesterday.
Yeah.
Tommy, you were in that.
Yeah.
Did you love that?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I ran with it last year. I didn't get a chance to run this year. I just stopped by in the morning just to see the crowd, say hello.
There's a great crowd though.
Great crowd.
To have a shakeout run, have like waves, you know, it's pretty kind of.
They waved.
I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah.
You know, so that was cool to see.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
also, we have to remember physically challenged people. So we are partners with the Achilles Foundation. We give thousands of shoes. I've helped coach that team. And yes, women are out there, but we have more to do. Here's an interesting sort of piece of history. In 1970s, this guy, George Gilder, wrote a book, Sexual Suicide, 1970s. And in that book, he was watching a woman's track race, and he called women in that race mildly erotic entertainment by girls in hot pants.
It's kind of gross.
We have come so far for women. Women now have increased participation over men, but there's more to do, especially about getting women on the trail. And at Saucony, we do these dirt power panels to take away the fears, to give tips to get women out there. And I do want to hit on one thing that we're not doing enough in, and that is ageism. we need
I'm
to.
not gonna say anything
Yeah, you'd
about
be
you,
nice.
Gary.
Hey, I can say I'm 70 years old, and I've been around here. You are too. No, you're not. But I have a friend, Marcy Schwam. She's in the Ultra Running Hall of Fame. At 70 years old, 2 weeks ago, she did a 24-hour race and covered 80 miles, running 4-mile loops through the night. And I just saw,
Shout out to Marcy.
yeah, I just
Yeah.
saw this new Strava data from the London Marathon. It showed almost identical average finish times for runners in 25 to 34-year-old group and the 55 to 64-year-old age group runners. Average finish times.
Which is
So,
incredible.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's not forget size inclusivity. Size inclusivity is so important. And we had Martinez Evans, author.
He's a Central Michigan grad like I am. So
All right.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got a master's in health and all of it. But he was signing books at our booth. He founded the Slow AF. You can think about what that actually
Yeah, we can't
means.
swear on this
No,
podcast.
we can't.
Yeah.
And he's manning this. He now has 30,000 members. So we need all of us.
I thought the AF meant aggressive feet. Was that it?
You are a very clean-minded
You know
young
what?
man.
You know what? That makes sense
What's
to me.
I don't understand that. I don't get it. Okay, go ahead.
But it's upon all of us in this industry to embrace and bring people in and make a difference for not only the industry, for the running experience, but that human being. We all have the right to experience the transformational power of running.
Right. I know.
Yeah.
I
That's
appreciate.
really well said. I appreciate everything you've been. You are everything that Saucony is trying to commit to and to bring about. That's great stuff.
Yeah,
Thank
I mean,
you.
I feel like it's definitely a moment where you realize the company's putting their money and resources where their mouth is, and it's greatly appreciated. And not just one thing too. Like, I mean, it's like you could just go after one elephant, but you guys are trying to tackle as many as possible to make as much change as possible. So not only do we appreciate it, I know a lot of people appreciate what you guys are doing as well.
Well, thank you very much. And it takes a team at Saucony to do that.
Yeah,
100%.
this is talking about commitment to better. That was a big topic of discussion on yesterday's show, and it wasn't more of just we're going to give you a month and we're going to put a rainbow sticker on our logo or talk about the February is Black History Month for a month. We talked about how it's got to be a full-time commitment, and that sounds like what Saucony is trying to do. So
yeah,
it's good to
full
hear.
time. And if we're partnering with anyone, it's important to partner long term.
Yes,
because you can't make things happen short term. That's called what that would be was just a marketing ploy.
right.
Yeah, 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not driven on value and what the company believes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think we all know where we can find Saucony, but I encourage everyone to check out what Saucony is doing. Go to the website, click on all the links and all the things that they're doing for good, and then also buy some shoes.
Well, Tommy, thank you. And again, an honor and congratulations for you, your life, your running, what you're doing to make a difference.
Appreciate that.
And Gary, you've been in the sport a long time. Again, thank you so much for doing what you're doing and communicating and getting all this out there.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
thank you for everything you're doing. And wonderful to have you on the show.
Thank
A
you so much.
pleasure. All right.
Thank you. Don't take the headphones with you. Yeah, man. So I mean, I'm not sure if it's not really ageism.
It is.
I'm just mentioning the fact that you're much older than me.
I am a fast master.
Faster as a master.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not saying I'm not saying
I'm
it's
keeping up
bad.
with the youngins.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
So-
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, Gary. I'm saying
You're
it's
almost there,
it's an
so
honorable, it's an honorable mention, But yeah, I don't even know what that means. Apparently, all right. So that was great, and I love all the things that Saucony is doing for change. And
I also love Sharon's enthusiasm. That's a good way to kick off day two.
Exactly.
Thank you for your excitement, Sharon.
100%. All right. So what we have next? We have Adidas.
Adidas. Yeah.
We can talk about that.
We can say both.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can
Maybe we can be corrected. Patrick is going to be coming up on the global vice president of product. Come on up, Patrick. Oh, we got
JT's coming up as well.
Let me move. Sorry.
We'll make some adjustments. Come on up, gentlemen. While Tommy makes some adjustments, take a seat, grab your put on a headset and jump right in. Oh, you got the Pro Evos as well. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we can see each other.
Hope there's not like a draft in here and those shoes blow away.
Hey, Tommy. Hi, Gary.
All right.
Oh, how are you?
Thanks for having us.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to day 2 of the. You just go ahead and just lift it right up.
Yeah, day 2 of the live stream. What's okay? Let's just talk about it right away. Everyone wants to talk about it. Everyone wants to know: is it Adidas or Adidas?
The German way, it's Adidas.
Adidas. Okay.
As Americans, you practice switching pronunciation as you fly over the ocean. You get on the plane saying one thing and then switch over.
Well, because it's
just it's in your headphones the whole trip over.
Because his name is Adi. His name is Adi Dassler. So I mean that makes sense.
Exactly.
Adidas. You know. All right. Poor brother had to pick.
Originally, what Adas. At some point, they thought it didn't sound that good, so they didn't have the I in the middle. So it was just Adas.
Yeah, I like. Good job, whoever decided to do that, because I like Adidas better. All right, guys, what's going on? How are you guys feeling? Day 2 of the conference. Tired yet?
Excited and inspired more than anything. Yes, tired.
Okay.
Like, we were on, like the whole day yesterday, but you get out of here and like you see so much cool stuff. So many people are so passionate about the industry. There's nothing but inspiration coming out of this.
Yeah, 100%. So I let's save this one right here for a little later in the conversation, because I think it'll last too long. Let's talk about the new shoes that you guys are really excited about.
You can bring them up.
Let's talk about these for a little bit. We have had the honor of running in the one that you have in your hand right now. And I like it a lot. So let's talk about like what this is all about. This is not a legacy shoe yet, right?
Not yet. So first of all, thank you. Really appreciate that feedback. We are here to talk about Supernova Rise, which is a totally new model, and it's the first chapter of a new phase of the Supernova story. Supernova has always meant everyday running at Adidas when we're at our best since 1997 with the introduction of the original Supernova. But Rise is a totally new model inside of that story and legacy. We're kind of relaunching our approach to everyday running, wanting to deliver on comfort and support for everyday runners in a way that we haven't before, and introducing some new technologies to deliver all of that together in a way we're really excited about, and so happy to be hearing feedback like yours so far.
Right. Yeah. So what can someone expect? I mean, because a lot of I saw that shoe all over the internet for quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like within the last week, maybe a week or so. When someone sees that, they walk in and they're like, "Hey, I see all these shoes on the wall at a run retail shop." What can they expect if they reach for that shoe?
What you're getting when you pick up a Supernova Rise as your daily driver, as your daily trainer, is all of the benefits of what I would argue is the best super foam in the market. We've done a really good job at Adidas working on material innovation, and I think that the achievements inside of Adizero and racing that we've seen over the past couple of years credential what our foams can do. We took Lightstrike Pro as a starting point and said, how do we turn this into a benefit for everyday runners? And came back with a reformulation of a similar foam, but tuned for everyday running needs. So you get all of the comfort along with the weight benefits and all of the resiliency benefits of a super foam in an everyday running shoe at a really great price point, where we haven't seen this inside of this kind of day-to-day functionality for normal everyday runners.
Yeah, no, that's good to hear. I think we were talking about price points earlier and how it's people are kind of, they're used to getting the shoes being a bit more pricey, but when a shoe like this comes out and it's a bit more cost effective, I think people appreciate it more, especially in this market.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's a big chunk of what our concentration and strategy was. When we started this project, before we got into the product, the price points, what we were making, the technology we were using, we aligned on what we wanted to do, and what we wanted to do was keep runners running and inspire more people to become runners. And part of that was addressing where most people are in terms of where they're shopping. Right. And so we started in that meat and potatoes price point and came in here at $140 rather than building something aspirational around 200 and then like trying to work down from there. We started where most people are, met runners where they are.
Because everybody says, running's so easy. You just need a pair of shoes. Well, how do I get those shoes?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So is there a shoe that's in the rotation now, or maybe that is discontinued or hasn't been revamped yet, that if someone's an Adidas or Adidas running fan that they could kind of compare that feel to?
In terms of functionality, where a use case where we've been for everyday running has been the Solar family.
Okay.
We're going back to Supernova as a family, but this is a new look on the Supernova range. Honestly, I wouldn't compare the feel dramatically. We overhauled fit to fit more people better, increased especially the forefoot volumes, and increased the support and lockdown in the heel. Changed. I mean, this is 50 grams lighter than our predecessor model. It's it's a different feel from where we've been in the space previously.
Nice. And then, so what's the other shoe of that? I don't think I've seen.
Oh,
that
what you're
one
looking
yet.
at is men's and women's lead
Oh,
colorways
okay.
here. So
okay, I'm like, hey.
this green spark is kind of an energetic bright that's telling the story of what we wanted to do with the shoe and the feeling on it. But we built this on kind of a neutral foundation, black for men's, and it's what we call Aurora for women's. In certain lights, it's also black, but out in certain lights, you get this kind of rich color to it.
Right.
So this is the men's and women's lead articles as we kick off now in December. Tomorrow, Friday. I can't track
Yeah, I
time
think
anymore.
tomorrow's Friday. I feel like we've been here
So-
for 6 days, but yeah, tomorrow's Friday.
As of tomorrow, this is launching exclusively in specialty in North America for 3 months.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be the only place that you can find this colorway or this shoe at all until February, when we go a little bit broader with a broader color rollout. And this will remain a channel exclusive colorway, but early lead time now, kicking off with our specialty partners.
So with that being, with you saying that we're at TRE, the running event, where it's mainly for brands and retailers to meet and talk and discuss what's to come in the next year or so. Why the decision to have a retail specific color?
So we knew that we wanted to partner with specialty on building this. Something that we do inside of our performance and racing space is partner with the world's best athletes to build product that helps them do what they need to do. But concentrating on the runner that we really wanted to build this product for, we wanted to go less towards validating with those kind of athletes. They'll run in it, great, very happy for that. But we wanted to build for everyday runners, and our ambassador to that space is running stores, specialty running stores. So we collaborated in building this. We surveyed consumers directly on what they wanted in a shoe, but in all of our design rounds and iterations, we went and tested and got feedback from specialty retailers in North America and Europe especially, and then came out with we want to authenticate it specialty first. We know that the people who can make the strongest and most informed recommendations to the consumer base we want to start to engage with are here in this space, and that's where we have to start.
And so, like, for Adidas, it's like, I mean, obviously it's a very popular brand and has been in so many different spaces in sports for so long. Do you feel like the need to focus more like on that community feel and on that retail level to kind of, because for a long time, whenever I think about Adidas at this point, I think about like the big shoe, I think about the race day shoe. But then somehow I know that there's a lot of really great products, but you just don't see them as much like on that local level. What's the move to push a little, in that direction?
I think it's just a continuation of our strategy, which focused both on the few, right, the elite athletes, but the majority of the people that run, they don't even target a marathon. They just want to go out there, run, have fun, they like the mental health aspects of it. And so we felt that, we had a little bit of a pivot of our strategy a couple of years ago. First, we started with the athletes, the high performance shoe, but now was the right moment to leverage the learnings that we got out of them to then bring it into more the everyday running space.
Right. Yeah, I mean, because it's like the shoes are amazing. So it's like, how can you make it feel? I think maybe it did feel a little elite. Like it's like, well, that's not for me. I got to go with a different brand that makes shoes for me. When in fact the shoes have been there this whole time. Yeah. All right, Gary.
Should we talk about the? I've been, Tommy and I, we talk about running and we nerd about running all the time. And one of the topics that come up is, in my mind anyway, is that when it comes to super shoes and elite marathon racing, Adidas doesn't get enough love. And they're always in the top 3 or top 1 or top 2. And I think with this shoe, obviously, was the talk of the world. I mean, talk about breaking the internet. Now, Adidas came out and broke the internet with this Evo Pro 1, correct? Did I get it right?
Adidas Adios Pro Evo 1.
Okay. I'm almost there.
It's a long one.
Yeah.
We just called it the Evo. That's the family name.
Okay, thank you. I was about to say, because I'm not going to try to do that right now. It's too early in the day. I haven't had my 3rd cup of coffee yet.
But I mean, a real record right off the gate. I had a chance to hold on to the shoe, and I didn't even know it was in my hand. It's just an amazing piece of work. And are we going to see more of this? I know we're talking about price points, right? You know, it's up there, but is this going to be? Is this like the first iteration, or are we going to see a more iteration more for like the general public, or is this kind of like a one-time, at least for our athletes? You know, or how are we gonna work with this?
No, so in the true spirit of what a concept car is for the automotive industry, this was it was a study.
Yeah.
And usually those studies are kept behind locked doors. Nobody gets to see them. But for us, it was also the unlock to figure out how we then trickle down many things that we learned as we developed the Evo to then trickle down into other products that you will see coming in the not too distant futures. Much more democratic price points, right? Much more affordable, accessible.
Mm-hmm.
But we still wanted people to have the chance to experience what a prototype feels like. And so
Yeah.
that's why we had the idea of not just keeping it for our top elite athletes, but as much as we could give access to the normal population.
That's great. That's great. I think people appreciate that because again, I know a couple other folks. Yeah, I think we're 500 made or
521.
521 made. I think you're hearing a lot of feedback from all sorts of runners of all sorts of speeds and shapes and sizes. I'm sure that's beneficial to you and the work that you guys are doing to improve. I don't know if improves the right word or the evolution of the shoe as he gets out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even for us, it definitely pushed us out of our comfort zone, the way we traditionally develop shoes, because we kind of had to break every single rule when it comes to development in terms of speed, the type of testing that you do, with whom you do the testing. And I think we learned something out of it, right? You grow when you're uncomfortable, and that was definitely the case with the shoe.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Well, let's talk about it for a little bit. We got just maybe a couple more minutes left. Let's talk about this shoe for a little bit and why is it special, and then like kind of what Gary was alluding to, like what out of this can we expect to be more of like the next step for the Adi Zero Pro?
Yeah, so maybe let me start with the result, which is actually what did matter for the athlete performance, right? So we managed to shave off 3 ounces with 100 gram from the Pro 3, which was already for us a very good shoe. It won a bunch of races, right? So, and there's several studies that say if you shave off about 100 grams, that usually improves your running economy of 1%. Translate on a marathon distance, it means minutes, right? That's the result. Now, how did we get there? A couple of innovations that we developed in parallel that came together all in the shoe. One was a different foam, right? Much lighter than our other super foam that we use. Similar chemical compound, but a different way of producing it, processing it, which allows to capture much more air in between, made it much more compliant, much more resilient, right? That's one. Number two, we did a study on the rocker point, right? Rocker point is where the inflection of the shoe starts. So this is something that we'd studied with several athletes over the course of years to figure out what the optimal placement of that point is. That's the second one. We worked on the upper, especially the eye state, to take weight out of there as well, right? It's much more flexible, but also much lighter. A different type of mesh. It's almost translucent. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
One thing that we're not sure will translate into inline shoes eventually is the fact that we stripped it of a sock liner. That we think we'll bring back for the general public.
Maybe
But out of those 4 points, basically in some shape or form, whether it's the foam, the rocker point, the eyelet construction, type of meshes we use, those are things that you may see in the upcoming models.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. You guys have a lot to talk about for sure, and I'm really excited to see what Adidas has planned for the pro scene and the everyday runner scene for 2024. Thank you guys so much for being
you guys.
on
We appreciate
the show.
it.
Huge privilege. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. You can just leave this shoe here. It's fine.
Yeah, Tommy will run. He'll run in the one shoe.
Yeah, I could run in one shoe for a little bit. I think I could pull it off. I mean, I feel like if you had the one shoe on, and then
so you'd be 0.5% faster.
I feel like it would be enough percent to make me feel different and better.
It make you feel different.
Yeah, for sure. I would just, if I could, like, maybe, I don't know how I would figure out the balance of that though. All right. So what is next, Gary? Gary. We have Puma up next. We have Stefan and Connor that's going to be coming from Puma. Come on up, guys. We actually got a cool opportunity to be involved. What's up, man?
Hey, good to see you.
Cool. Oh, just one?
Just me.
Okay, cool. We had two names on here. I'm gonna move over. You
Simon's
sit
gonna
there.
move over. Come on, sit. Well, you mind if I put the shoe up so everybody can see it? This is we ran in this. We got a chance to run in this yesterday at the official unveiling.
Yeah.
It was a fun event. Tommy and I got to run with some of the pros and
Yeah.
Olympic bronze medalists, Molly Seidel and Rory Linkletter, and
Yeah.
Canadian superstar.
I mean, I almost if Rory or Molly are watching this, I mean, I kind of, if you watch any of the videos, I kind of led the race for the most part. I mean, I think I might have let them finish up front at the end.
I do. I have a small snippet of a video of me just ahead of Molly, and I'm going to tell my kids that this is me.
I mean, it wouldn't
running.
be. It wouldn't be. I mean, it wouldn't be a full lie.
It was not a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to half step Molly Seidel, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, if you can,
the
why wouldn't you?
opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it would just seem like you'd go home, you'd be on the flight. How was how was TRE for you? I'm like, I really regret not half stepping Molly Seidel. But yeah, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
How's the week going for you so far? Because you guys got some big news here.
Yeah, I mean, week's going well. We're really excited to be here. This is now our 3rd year back at TRE.
Nice.
So we're excited to be back in the game. Love being in Austin. We have a great team down here, great booth, showing off some exciting product.
Awesome. All right, let's just jump right into the shoe. I mean, because you came here as a team knowing that this was going to be maybe not released, but released to be seen to the public.
The
embargo lifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, big embargo.
Yeah, embargo that was lifted yesterday morning.
Yeah, yesterday. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just talk about this shoe right now, man. And then we'll have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, yeah, you guys were outside of anyone internal at Puma or any Puma sponsored athlete. You guys were some of the first to ever get to run in the shoe, which is great.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, so we have the Fast R Nitro Elite 2. So this is one of our marathon super shoes that we're really excited about.
Awesome. All right. So I had the Fast Star, the original.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the differences that you're excited about that are the next step for this shoe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so first things first, we got a new Nitro Elite compound. So Nitro Elite is our super foam. So we have a brand new compound that's like about 25% more energy return than the previous.
Yeah.
So that's huge. So now the full shoe itself, combined with the plate, is almost 90% energy return you're getting out of it, which is fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
A pretty firm EVA in the heel, so that was kind of part of landing on a little bit more of a dead foam and then being sent onto the super foam for that propulsion was kind of the idea of that. But then we realized more of the super foam's just always better,
Yeah.
So we added it into the heel and brought it up to that 40 millimeter limit for World Athletics as well.
All right. So are you guys with this new edition? I mean, are you guys really excited about what's to come in February?
Yeah, we are. Absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of great colorways. We've already seen a lot of great PRs in it as well. Some of the athletes, every Puma female athlete who raced Chicago Marathon in this shoe ran a PR.
Oh, nice.
We're seeing that as well. And then we'll see how many athletes we can have at the trials in this shoe as well.
All right. Well, one question, kind of random, is it because when I had the original Fast Star, I feel like it lasted for quite a bit. I was able to put some good miles on it, and I think that's one of the conversations with the super shoe game is how long. I mean, if I'm going to spend this money, how long will it last? I mean, maybe there's 1 or 2 good marathons, but can I still use this shoe for quite a bit, in training?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually one of the things that we're seeing with our new compound is that it's the mechanical properties, which basically mean the energy return, the foam compliance, are staying really, really consistent over the course of the whole life cycle of the shoe.
Okay.
So that's something that our new compound is giving us. So we put it on the deformation machine and we slam the foam, and we're seeing that even over the course of 3 hours, the energy return is the same from start to finish. So you're getting a lot of durability, and the foam isn't failing you late in the race or at your next one.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. As we talked about, you guys unveiled it yesterday. What's been the feedback you've received so far from those who are there? And I think it also unveiled it in Tokyo as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. So far I've gotten a lot of trampolines on my feet. That's been a good one.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, of course, have been talking about the extended power plate. So you can see how that kind of extends past the
okay.
toe
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So the carbon plate, when you're wearing the shoe, you can actually see it sticking out in front of you.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are really feeling how that extended plate is sending them further and lengthening their stride. So that's something that people are feeling, and that's also the science behind it too.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that people are seeing and feeling that in their stride, and also that the concept actually is proven to work.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
so yeah, we ran in it yesterday for I think it was 4 miles at fairly kind of chill pace for everybody. But even then, I could feel one of the things that I think is super important to me lately is when I put on a super shoe that I'm spending good money on. I want it to feel good just putting it on. I want to have a comfortable shoe at some point, because I think in the beginning some of the super shoes were pretty uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And there's definitely no walking around before or after the race or anything like that. But so like talk to me a little bit about like the move to make this a pretty comfortable shoe once you put it on.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, I would say compared to the first version, this one's like a unit, like the first version was pretty slim, and this one has a real wide forefoot, definitely has a more stable heel. It's a little wider in the heel as well, and it's nicely decoupled. So no matter like the way you strike when you run, you're still able to kind of roll right onto the plate really stably. So we just wanted to kind of add more foam underneath the foot, give you a little bit wider of a base, and then also just put an upper on it that was real thin, real light, almost like a sock that you wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
And so did you have a lot of the pros test these out over the different iterations to get from the 1 to the 2? And what kind of like what feedback in the beginning, say like the first version of this one, what was like the feedback that you maybe didn't expect and maybe changed because in this why the 2 is the way it is now?
Yeah, for sure. So this is probably the most prototyped shoe at Puma ever, I would say, and the most tested. So we work very closely with we have an innovation team in Germany. So they kind of worked on the first ever prototypes of this, and then they pass it to us for like the testing and kind of the finishing off of the product. So a couple things that we had. First is the plate was extended even further at first. Okay. Yeah. And it was real wide also, like see how it kind of comes to a point at your big toe there.
Yeah.
So it was wider and even further. So we were that was the first prototype we ever saw. And we were like, wow, we didn't expect this. Like what is this going to do? And it was just aggressive. You had to be a really powerful runner to make it work. So we did have to reel that back in, but we were seeing that was one of the things that we were seeing was how powerful the extended plate was making everyone stride, and just kind of see how they were reacting to that.
Yeah, I actually kind of I did, like I said, we did about 4 miles yesterday. I'm excited myself to take it out for like some speed work and tempo runs, because I'm curious about how the extended plate's going to feel on my foot. But I think it's going to be a helpful, just to have the extra oomph, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
can you do that again?
Oomph.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I make sure that's how's that spelled?
Is that coming through?
It's got plenty of oomph.
Yeah. It's UMPH.
FFFF.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I'm actually gonna have the opportunity to run a half marathon in a couple of days in that shoe.
Yeah.
So what can I expect? What do you want me to be looking for while running, so I can give like the best feedback to you?
Yeah, I think you're gonna kind of have to learn how to harness the most energy out of it. You'll see. So like in the first mile or so, you'll maybe feel like a little bit little naive and a little tentative to kind of get up on that plate. But then what you'll notice is that your stride will be longer. You'll be floating in the air a little bit longer, and you'll just start to. It's almost like when you're in a really high gear on a bike. Yeah. Imagine that, and then as you get your momentum, you're going faster, but pedaling slower. Yeah. That's exactly what will happen with the shoe.
I mean, I literally Googled the other day, can super shoe that makes me feel like I'm going faster, but working less. And then this popped up.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. That's exactly what I Googled. I use ChatGPT as well.
Yeah.
Is that how...
Cat GTP.
Cat GPT. Yeah. But yeah. So what are your athletes saying? Like, I mean, because it's a big year next year. We have the Olympic trials in Orlando. What are your athletes like saying that you all feel as a brand that you're really positive and happy about?
Yeah, I mean, they're just really excited the way that we kind of push the boundaries and do things a little differently, right?
Yeah.
Like they love seeing this kind of disruptive product from us. That means they know that we're working relentlessly kind of outside of the box. I feel like there's a lot of brands that like we know everyone knows the super shoe formula, right?
Yeah.
So like, what's the next formula?
Right.
Yeah.
So the athletes kind of love seeing that from us and love working with us to help push that even further. So we're really excited, and you know, Fast R should be a perfect shoe for that course as well. You know, in Florida, pretty flat, just on the roads, just able to open up and hammer. So we're really excited for them.
I actually asked that question yesterday. Vuori and Molly were on the panel with Todd, and I said, well, what does it feel like to be an athlete that is with a company that continuously tries to reach for what's next and reach for that next level and continue to try to innovate? And I mean, because it's like, on one hand, it's like it's kind of scary because it's like everything keeps changing so fast, and you're looking down at a shoe that looks so much different than everyone else that's on the course. But on the other hand, it's like I can feel the company wants us to perform as well as possible, put on a shoe that is superior to my competitor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think that's how we have always operated as a brand, right?
Yeah.
Like we're forever faster, and we've been doing that forever in track and field.
Yeah.
You know, like we've always been pushing the limits from 100-meter, 200-meter, long jump, high jump. Like we're always been pushing the limits to be the best in athletics. And now that's just extended onto the road, which is also that's just exciting for the consumer too.
Yeah,
so now the consumers can like tap into what we've been doing forever on the track, but now it's happening on the road for everybody.
I think it's cool because there's another company too that makes that kind of reaches for that next level and is okay with making a shoe that doesn't look traditional, you know. And I think that's impressive because it's like you don't want it to be too crazy, so like the consumer looks at it and goes like, I don't know if I want to try that out. But at the same time, it's like, what are you about? Are you about performance? Are you trying to like push the envelope? Are you trying to make, you know, your athletes and the everyday runner feel faster, better, stronger? And if the answer is yes, then sometimes I guess you got to take those chances.
Yeah.
So it's dope to see you guys do that and keep pushing. And I know for sure, based on the feedback we got yesterday from your athletes, that your athletes are happy that that's the type of company that they run for.
Yeah.
Yep. No, we've been hearing the same thing as well. This is a great looking shoe. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciate the opportunity to try it out. I was just standing in it. I had not run in a shoe that had like the brake here. So just standing in it, I could kind of feel it. But once I got going, I didn't feel it at all.
Yeah, you don't notice it.
No. Yeah. But just it's a good shoe. I had a great time running in it yesterday. I really appreciate the opportunity.
When can people expect this at their local retailer?
In a big way in February.
Okay.
So in February of next year, like you said, we're unveiling it in Japan this weekend as well, and it does launch in a small way on December 8th. And we do have like a special pack that will be for the Hakone Ekiden in Japan as well. So we've been working with our team at Puma Japan and a lot of athletes as well to gear up for that race. They're really excited about the technology we're pushing there as well.
I bet. That's awesome.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to seeing what Puma has in store for us early next year.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Good luck this weekend.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Hey, nice to meet you. Thanks so much.
I'll be thinking I'm a bicycle the whole time. Get to that right gear.
Big gear, baby.
Yeah, I'll be thinking I'm a bicycle. I can do it. You know? All right.
There we go.
So thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. I think it's really cool when companies really push the envelope. It's impressive, you know, because it's a risk, you know, but it's fun to see somebody keep pushing and trying to make things different. And you can tell, like, the shoe looks crazy.
Yeah, no, it's I like it. I like the look. I like the colorway. I like the style.
Yeah.
I was excited.
All right. So next up, we have Vivid Belle. Come on up here. All right. So
this is gonna be a fun interview.
Yeah. Crazy story. She's already laughing. That's good. All right. So yeah, headphones, and then if
you want, you can take the microphone out and just speak right into it.
Up to you. Up to you.
You got to make sure you speak.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm speaking in.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
And if you're comfortable, you can take it out and just sit back and just relax. And
let me chill.
Yeah.
It's too formal. I need to
Just
chill.
lift it right up.
There you go. Well, that was the cleanest. That was the cleanest one.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. I did it too.
Okay.
All right, so
You're an
how,
overachiever, Tommy.
how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. I'm kind of nervous, kind of jittery. I don't know if that's the coffee or if it's y'all.
It could be both. You know,
Yeah.
I have that effect on folks. You know, but yeah, like let me know. Let us know who you are. And this is your first TRE.
It is.
All right, so just tell us who you are, what the company is, and how you're feeling so far. Day 2.
Well, my name is Naseemah Palmer, and the company is Belle, and it is a lifestyle brand. It's primarily for active lifestyle, but we also are trying to combine mental health and emotional health with active wear through our apparel. Like a lot of the prints, a lot of the colors, a lot of the fabrics is to represent and evoke emotions, because sometimes stuff have to start from the outside in, and sometimes things is like you have to. It's too much to kind of unpack inside, and so you might see some tights that remind you of being overwhelmed, and that's your way of kind of like bringing that emotional awareness to yourself.
Yeah.
And kind of honing in on that and owning it, and then feeling good about it, because then I went for a run, then I walked, or did Zumba, I walked, or did skating, did some sort of movement with this active wear, and now you feeling better, but you also was tapping into your emotions, and it's like the best of both worlds. So that's what we represent.
That's great.
No, I love the intention of that though. I mean, because it's like so sometimes like I have quite a few pairs of shoes, so sometimes I literally just go like, how do I feel today? And then I was like, I feel like this today, and I grab the shoe. But I love the fact that it's like, as a brand, you're like, hey, look, purposely saying like, these pants, I bought these pants, and I know that they're for this type of emotion or feeling that I go through.
Yes.
And some days you may not wear it. Maybe you wear the same pants every day. I don't know.
I did.
But
I did.
But like, for those certain days where you like know, like, I'm wearing these today, and I'm gonna use this run, walk, whatever, to let go of that emotion and kind of like harness the intention and the power of being aware of your emotions and going out and trying to do something to help yourself.
Yep.
And to show off your emotions as well.
Yeah.
You got it, Gary.
Yeah.
That's our tagline. Wear your emotions, because I think so many people deal with they don't know how to feel. They don't really have the language to explain. It's like, I'm stressed out, I'm overwhelmed, I feel okay, but it's like, is language there to you so you can be specific? Like, maybe you feel abandoned, like maybe you feel disappointed in something instead of just mad. Maybe you hungry, but you mad, but you really just you really hungry.
You need to eat.
Yeah, you really just need to eat. So I think like just being able to give people almost spoon feed it, because emotions can be very overwhelming. Nobody really want to deal with it. I feel like they get like a bad rap, like, oh, you're too emotional. Or
well, I think like certain communities, I think we talked about this on our call leading up to this. Certain communities, or I speak for the Black community for sure, certain things that are like normal and accepted in other cultures aren't in some of the Black and brown communities. So it's like saying that you have depression, or that you have anxiety or overwhelmed even, just get kind of dismissed as, something totally different than what it is, or just kind of pushed down and say like, you know what, that you ain't got time for that.
Yeah, it's life. You got other things to prioritize.
Yeah. Don't be a baby. Don't do this and that.
Yeah.
But it's amazing that you started a brand that not only is saying that this is normal and is okay to have these emotions and feelings, but it's like, wear it proudly and address it proudly.
Address it proudly. Like, it's okay. It's a human experience. It's like, if we didn't have these emotions, we all would be bots and chat GBT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it's like, it allows us to have a conversation about it. And like, the space that I have is in the Philadelphia area, is a brick and mortar. So it's not just active wear, but we do Pilates in there. We do yoga. We have panel discussions. Like, we invite the community in for free events, and just to have somewhere to kind of just feel safe and be. And when you come into the space, the feedback that I always get is that it's very welcoming, and most people just want to relax and kind of take that off. But if you don't have nowhere to kind of like express and digest that, then what you going to do with it besides holding it?
Right.
No, that's great. That's great that you're able to make your space a welcoming space. So it's more than just a store. It's a community center.
It's like a little hub. It's like, I would love to get some more things in there, brands, coffee, and things to kind of make it like more community based. But right now, what it's serving the people, they know that is at least there and that it's for them and that they have a space. They don't have to go to a Starbucks, or they don't have to try to find somewhere. They can kind of come here. And even if you don't want to shop, you just come and just, I'm also a licensed therapist. So that's kind of like how I began to merge the two based on my own story, my own journey with emotions. And I kind of was discovering that on at the same time that I was doing my schooling. And so once I was able to kind of like use running as a vehicle and as a source to like really transform and shift the direction of what my life was going in that time, I feel like I had to kind of give that back to the people. Like, so yes, talk therapy is running, it's therapeutic, right? And as your licensed therapist up here, I'm not going to say that you can replace it with that. Therapy is therapy.
Yeah, therapy
right?
is therapy.
Therapy is therapy. But sometimes it's therapeutic.
Yeah.
And if you merge the two, it's like I said, it's the best of both worlds, and it kind of helped me, is what helped me. And that's what I feel like almost charged with, giving that back to the people and letting them know that this too is a tool. Like, this can help you shift your life if you allow it. And I'm a natural leader because I'm a Capricorn, right? And I'm also a firstborn child.
Okay.
And so we kind of just gravitate that. And I kind of lean into that. And I just call myself like a seed planter to just plant the seeds of new things and new ways to heal yourself and to tap in.
Can you talk to us a little bit about how this whole thing started, though? Because there's definitely a story there that when I heard you talking about it to us, is so many people have had different versions of this story. You know? And I love that what came from your experience is something positive that helps other people.
Yeah. So I was not a runner. I feel like I was always in some sort of fitness, but running was not my thing. Of course, that's like every runner's story. And I was in a really dark space. Postpartum had hit me really bad. I didn't really know how to deal with all of those big emotions that was new for me coming up. And one day I just walked outside because I felt too overwhelmed at the time. And I was walking until I couldn't walk no more because the Broad Street Run was going on. And that's the 10-mile race in Philly. I didn't know at the time that that's what it was, but I couldn't walk because all the runners was just passing by. So I just had to sit, me and my baby and her little cute little stroller, and we just sitting on a bench. And what I saw from the runners that was running was just light and brightness and happiness and joy and everything that I didn't have. So I was able to easily recognize that. And once I researched it on the phone, because I said I Googled what's happening in Philly today right now at 10:45, and it was the Broad Street Run, and I just kind of immersed myself into learning what that was and told myself next year I'm doing that, because whatever it is that they have, that's what I want. And Vivid Belle, vivid meaning just like lively and detailed and bold, is all of those things that I wanted to be, that I wanted to be the opposite of how I was feeling. And so the brightness of the clothes is very intentional because I want to always remind people of life and it's worth living, because I didn't always feel like that. And so if I have to remind myself every day and others with these bright clothes, that's what I'm gonna do. And every time I went out, that's actually my story. Like, when I wanted to feel something different, I would put something different on to kind of lighten up my mood with these bright colors. And I would get a lot of feedback from just people and passers-by, and I said, I got to do something with this. And so the emotion part in running, that's really how it all came together for me.
That's great. That's the positivity of the running community has been a topic that we've discussed on and off air this past couple of days. And then I'm glad you were able to recognize that even just watching a race, the people in the crowd, really, they're so excited to watch their friends and family out there, it's a newcomer stumbling upon it. You were able to recognize that and like, oh, I want this. I want this feeling. And you were able to like not only harness that, but like build it and take it to the next level with your brand, which is amazing story.
Thank you, Gary.
Yeah, no, I think it's dope because a lot of all back to the communities it's you don't get to see you don't see that a lot of people don't have that experience of running into or like crossing the path of a marathon or a big race, and so they don't get to see what joy and comes from some of that, like pushing yourself to the next level and doing something that you think you could never do. And I just love the fact that you just kind of stumbled upon it, know, and then didn't let that be a moment where just something that just happened and you diverted and went around and then moved on with your life. You said, hey, you know what, whatever these people are feeling and going through, I want to somehow experienced that.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we all, I mean, I'm speaking for Gary, but that's how I kind of came to the running thing. It's like
Okay.
once I got into the space and did a race that I thought I'd never do, which was like half marathon.
Mhm.
Something about that experience and the joy that I felt, and then also the joy of almost experiencing that with other people that I didn't even know, but we all had that same emotion of accomplishment
Mhm.
and happiness. I was hooked immediately after that point. So it's like,
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's powerful like
Yeah.
that.
100%. So where can people find your stuff?
People can find me at vividbelle.com online, vividbelle _ on Instagram. And I also have a brick and mortar spaces in Philadelphia, 1543 Dickinson Street. We do all the things there. Whoever can help me amplify my message of just mental health and active wear, being active and merging that and using that as a tool and as a vehicle to uplift and encourage people to tap into their mental health is what I'm all about. So
Is some of the mission to be here at the running event to meet retailers to help maybe get your product inside in some stores?
for sure. And it's very overwhelming here. This is my first year. There's a lot
It's a
going
lot
on.
going on.
Yeah.
But I've been meeting a lot of
Do you have
people.
your overwhelmed pants on?
Yes,
Okay.
this is overwhelmed.
Okay.
And I've been meeting a lot of people. And the thing about runners is we all are the most interesting people. And I feel like everybody is just kind of here to wrap arms around each other and just figure out different ways to help. And it is, so
Yeah. That's the community.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
100%.
I mean, it really is. It's just positive, and everybody wants to, move forward and find new ways to improve, whether it's your PR, your mood, your
Mhm.
mental health,
Mhm.
whatever it is. I think everybody's kind of all on the same page here.
Yeah, I love it. I feel like I'm at home with all my family and friends.
Yeah, I like it. Well, yeah, except for it's not as comfortable because I'd love to be sitting on the couch
I
right now, maybe with a
know.
TV or something like that.
No, you love to be here at TRE talking to all these
talking
fine
to the
people.
people.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. I did not say that. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
your
you,
time. Thank you for being
guys.
on the show. Good luck on the rest of the show
Thank
in the
you.
conference, and I hope that you come away from this with so many contacts that you can kind of decide how
Me
you want to move
too.
forward.
We putting that in the ear. Let's manifest that.
Let's
Yeah,
manifest that.
for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, make sure everybody you go to her website, check it out.
If you're in Philly, come out, check out the brick and mortar.
Yeah, check out the brick and mortar. Yeah, don't take the headphones with you.
Oh yeah,
it'll
that's
get
right.
crazy.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
so much.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you again.
Yeah, no, it's I love whenever, especially a person of color like embraces mental health and wellness, because there's just so many times where that doesn't happen,
No, it's not talked about enough.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And I love that she literally made a business in and around that concept of embracing your mental health and embracing what emotions people have. So unfortunately, I don't think that she makes tights for men, Gary. So I think that she has some
not
paper.
yet.
Not yet.
Not
That's what we're trying to get to, because men need mental health too.
Yeah, you need the men WTF tights.
Yeah. You ain't saying nothing about the shoe. So she has some WTF tights, because sometimes you be thinking WTF, All right. So how you feeling, Gary? We're halfway through the morning session.
Oh, really? Already?
Yeah.
Wow,
I think we got a few left. I'm gonna indulge myself really quick here. Yeah.
We got some hometown folks coming up.
I mean, some would call them hometown heroes. But the next guests are very special to me. And I started in like the running influencing type of space in like 2020-ish, and somehow ran into these folks randomly through a guy who won a hoodie of mine that I was like giving away, and then he called them and said that they should have my stuff, and then they had my stuff in the store.
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
And then it like rolled into some weird cool friendship, and then now we're still cool and hanging out.
So far.
They still have not found out the type of guy I really am.
Let's see how this interview goes first.
No, this is gonna go fine. It's just like once they figure out like one day, oh yeah, he's not really who we thought he was, then maybe.
That's probably my fault. I've been whispering.
You were the guy. I knew there was somebody squealing, and I knew it might have been you. I don't even want to be wearing the same shirt as you right now anymore.
Oh, this shirt's awesome.
Yeah, I like it a lot. His kids don't like it at all. All right. Next up, we have Gazelle Sports. We have Jen Brummett, CEO, and Kara Cross, CMO. I'm gonna move out of the way so we can fit more people up here.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
I first heard about Gazelle Sports when I was running cross country and track at Lance Community College back in the late 1900s.
You meant early 1900s, Gary.
No, late 1900s. My friend, one of my teammates said our coach had taken her down to the early Grand Rapids store in Gazelle, and she came back just raving about this awesome shoe store that she had seen in Grand Rapids, and it was the Gazelle store, and I thought, oh, I'll love to check that out, but I never made it out there. But now that you guys are near my neck of the woods, I get to see what all the fuss was about 20 years on.
Oh,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, so you guys have 4 or 5 stores now?
7 stores.
7 stores.
7 stores.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming on, and I know it's been a busy weekend for you, but how's it been? How's TRE been treating you?
Yeah, well, thank you for having us first. It is awesome to be with you in Austin at the running event. So far, it has been fun and busy, and we're a little tired.
Yeah,
We're a little tired,
Yeah,
but we're doing it.
that's
And
the theme for today.
yeah, we're a little tired. But I think the thing about being at the running event is you see so many friends
Yeah.
and the number of hugs. And are you a hugger? I'm like, yeah, I'm always a hugger. So it's so good to see.
But
to be here and see people.
It's good to ask though first.
It is good to
Yeah,
ask.
yeah.
It is good to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Appreciate
Gary,
that.
take notes, man.
Oh.
So the first time that I came to the running event, TRE, was in 2021, and it
Mhm.
was with you all.
It
You
was.
guys invited me because I'm a herd ambassador for Gazelle. So you guys said, "Hey, come down, check this place out. It's really amazing. You should be here, see the scenes and all that stuff." And came here next year with a brand, and then this year we are doing this thing, which is pretty cool. So I just want to say thanks though for what you all continue to do in the community, which is authentically connect with folks that are doing a thing already and just figuring out how to assist with that, as opposed to, hey, come do this thing for us.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, Tommy. And it's been so fun. And Jen and I reflect on this together often, just from that first year that you came to TRE with us, you coming here with a vendor, and then seeing this beautiful display as we walked up, and just the joy that brings in our partnership and the impact that has had on that too. So
I know when we talked about what we're going to talk about when we get to Austin,
Yeah.
and we said we're going to talk about your first TRE experience. And
That's what we're doing.
well, we can take this anywhere, Tommy,
We
but
can do it.
we can do it.
Yeah.
I think, like Kara said, it's been so fun to
Yeah.
watch from the first time here, watching you see this space the first time, the first conversations. It's been such a joy.
The first time we came, we were still wearing face masks.
We were.
It was much smaller.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then 2021 or 2022 was bigger. This is the biggest TRE that they've ever had, space or exhibitors wise. So I think we're going the right direction. So TRE actually is going to be giving us a plaque sometime. They're not listening. I thought they were going to be listening. Because we're the reason why this is the largest the conference
course.
ever. Yeah,
The PR project.
Yeah, PR
For
project.
sure.
Yeah.
Directly.
Yeah.
I agree.
We've taken complete credit for that, and proudly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to ask Tommy, from that first year at TRE, the big thing on Thursday evening was Tommy's tattoo from TRE.
Oh yeah. I did not get a tattoo. I wanted to get a tattoo at TRE. I did not get that tattoo, and I haven't even gone back to get that idea of the tattoo yet.
Is this the year?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. That would be interesting.
It would
Do
be
it.
interesting.
That would
Do
be
it.
interesting to
Do
get it
Peer
to
pressure.
full circle it.
Yeah.
I did say that if Chris Lampin Crowd got a tattoo, I would get one. If he gets a
Oh.
tat, I'll get a tat.
Okay.
All right, let's talk to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
We'll let
he
him
walks
know.
up and says, let's get some tattoos, I'm down for it.
Tattoos plural. Is that what you're saying? You're gonna
Well,
get
let's
mul-
get some
you're gonna
tattoos.
get multiple,
Like 2 people going to get a tat each. That's multiple
as you
tattoos.
do.
Yeah, exactly.
Tattoo dates.
That's not. I mean, people do play dates with kids.
There
Tattoo
you go.
dates
Yeah.
are should be a thing.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what some of the news in the last last year since last TRE for Gazelle. So changing some ownership things, which is amazing, and I'd love for you guys to talk about that.
Yeah. So, Gazelle Sports has been in business since 1985. So we're coming up on 38 years of being, in the running industry and being a spot to support runners. And in the last year, we have had some ownership transition with myself and Kara and Christian Renault coming on as owners, and that's been really incredible. And I think the thing for us is we don't see that kind of generational transfer of ownership happen very often in the running industry or in the run specialty space. So we're really privileged to be able to carry on the legacy of Chris and Ken and my mom. So it's awesome. We want to pay homage to the history and legacy of what Gazelle Sports is, but also look out into the future and think about what we can be. And it's awesome to have incredible partners like Kara and Christian on that journey with me.
Awesome. Well, I guess talk about that legacy though. Like what when you think of a Gazelle Sports legacy, what is that?
Yeah, one of my favorite things to talk about is the day that Chris and his business partner Bruce at the time opened Gazelle Sports, and it's actually our anniversary is coming up on December 7. Not only did they open a store, they hosted a community event. So for me, that's our core. It's like it is at running retail and being a community partner and being active in the event space as well. So that makes me proud of that legacy that we've been able to carry that forward for 38 years.
Nice.
Kara, what do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's the legacy of our core values and how we apply those every day. And the world has changed significantly in 38 years. And as we continue to reflect on and go back to and reaffirm our values, the decisions that we make in honor of that legacy, and also looking ahead to the future and what that means and how we build community and how we build community differently than maybe we would have in the past. I think that's an enduring legacy that will continue and will help us continue to build the vision for the future as well.
And then one thing that I noticed, like as I got closer to Gazelle, was the fact that it felt very woman led very early on in my experience, and it was nice because I think that where I was in my journey as a content creator or a creator in the community, however the touch that especially Kara, that you had with me through the process of trying to figure out how I could be an asset to Gazelle, but then further down the road, like even just be an asset to a brand in a way. It was great. So I appreciated the energy or the environment or culture at Gazelle right away.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, Tommy. And I think some of those first conversations that you and I talked about, and for us as we look in building those relationships, it is about authenticity. And I think that was the first thing that I said to you was, Tommy, I don't want to pay you to post anything about Gazelle Sports. That's not why I'm here. I want to know, what are you about? What are your goals? What are you passionate about? Is there a story that we can tell together? And that's, from my position and my experience and where I am right now, those are the things that I am the most passionate about. What are those authentic stories that we can continue to tell and partnerships that we can build, and not just as a growth opportunity for Gazelle Sports and our audience, but also how do we invest in the growth of individuals and communities as well?
Yeah, I think speaking of communities, what I like about what Gazelle's been doing is, and Tommy alluded to this earlier, is you're able to bring in like local products, like Tommy with the Run Eat Sleep Show shirt, and I believe the local run club, We Went 313, also you've provided a space for them to share to sell their shirts and sweatshirts and whatnot. And I'm sure you do it for the local run clubs out in Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids and Northville and whatnot. And I think that's a really a cool way to show that we are a part of this community. We have small businesses here that we want to help provide a larger voice for as well.
Yeah. If we can amplify another small business, that's an incredible honor for us.
Yeah.
Just to give someone space to shine the spotlight and hand the microphone and say, you tell your story and we want to just fan it for you. That's awesome. We love small business, right? Like at the end of the day, we are a small business. We understand the work and the passion that goes into having a small business or running a run club or putting yourself out there and saying, I want to be part of what you're doing.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And I know, I'm sure Tommy appreciates it, but me as a consumer, I think it's cool to say, oh, I know these guys. I know, I know him, but
Exactly.
but it's cool. Like, so
how come you didn't buy all the hoodies that was there?
I have more than enough runnings.
Is that possible, Gary?
Yeah.
Enough running stuff?
Yeah, no. Real quick, who am I talking to?
Yeah. So I like that you mentioned that, Gary, because it's one of those things where far too often businesses are involved with the community in a more of a one-sided or mainly a dominantly one-sided relationship where it's we'll open our doors and create a space for events and stuff like that, but it's kind of we only like you could only have you could decide to have only big business or only big brands in the store, and still be a very focal point of the community, and no one would think much of it. But the fact that you said like, hey, we want to have all the big brands, we want to have anybody could come in the shop and find whatever they need, from whatever brand, but then also we've created space to help smaller businesses and startups and things like that in the community or from the community make money. Because you mentioned earlier you didn't want to start the relationship saying, hey, we want to pay you to make random posts. You wanted us to build something authentic, but still get paid.
Yeah.
And money has always been at the forefront of our relationship, not in saying me walking through the door saying, hey, I want to make some money. It was because you all were like, hey, we want to help, we want to do things with you, but we want to make sure that this is equally financially beneficial. And Chris Lampin-Crow was one of the founders. We had a conversation with him one time, and it was like straight up like, that's cool and everything, shoes are great, but you need to get paid. And a lot of creators are struggle with that because it's like you're happy for opportunities, but how do you make it also valuable on a longer term?
Absolutely. And I think excuse me, the importance of that too. And, I was on a panel with you earlier this week and talking about, no, it doesn't start with a cost sheet. It doesn't start with pay to post. But that absolutely has to be part of the conversation and part of the plan and part of the process. There's labor behind content creation that we as a brand and even as a small business will use to help market and grow our sales. There's value in that. And it is incredibly important for me and for us as a company to make sure that we are acknowledging that and honoring that in our community partners. And I think especially in the last few years, as you see many more BIPOC content creators in the running space. Historically, folks from marginalized communities have not been paid for their labor for myriad of reasons. But that's something that is absolutely important and speaks to most, if not all of our core values in terms of community and care and excellence and learning in the process too. I think there's, things that we've done together or talked about that we're like, this will be really cool. Maybe it didn't work so well. And learned from that and adjusted and moved forward too. And it's, in the relationship that we've built with you, relationship that we've built with, run crews like we run 3-on-3 and Lion Street Running Club and other community partners as well. No Surrender Running Club in Grand Rapids area too, that we continue to learn and grow and improve, and appreciate your relationship and input in that process too.
Thank you. So what do you guys want people that are watching the stream? What do you want people to know as we wrap up here about Gazelle?
That's a good question.
Should I have emailed it before?
Maybe, but that's okay. We're taking this wherever you want to go, Tommy. So, I think I want the people to know that Gazelle Sports will continue to be a community partner, and we want to continue to show up in ways that push the running industry, that push us to think about what the running industry means and how we can all be really good partners and make sure that we give space and opportunity to everyone.
Well done.
Thank you.
It's almost like you rehearsed it.
I didn't.
Good. All right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Kara. Gazelle
Thank you.
Sports. Make sure you guys
Thank
tap in. They have
Yeah.
online presence too. They are local stores at 7 stores in Michigan, but you can go online and grab some stuff too.
That's right.
Yes,
Thank you,
please
Tommy.
do. Yep.
Thank you both.
Good
Thank
to
you.
see you. Thanks so much.
Don't take the headphones with you. I think people watching the live stream are gonna be like, okay, we get it. Don't take the headphones with you. But
It's gonna take one time.
it's gonna take
for
one
some-
time to yank
one
this thing
time.
out.
Yep.
And then we got liability on our hands. I didn't have anybody sign any waivers, I don't think. Well, I guess maybe with registration you had like somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody probably signed something. All right, so
yeah, maybe.
what we got next, Gary?
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me look it up because I keep saying it wrong. In our
No, I
meetings.
want you to just go after it. Go
So,
after it.
We are gonna have
Don't be scared.
Amphipod.
So I don't know what
I get tongue tied and I apologize. On all of our calls, but we're gonna have the president of
Yeah.
Amphipod come up. And I apologize. the laughing doesn't happen.
That-
Come sit right here. Come sit next to me and
right
Tommy.
here. Yeah, so we have Amphipod on the live. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
So you're gonna have to
Your
put the
headset here.
headset on
All
And
right.
you can
and
hear
then
ya.
get as close as possible so the mic picks it up. So yeah, so today, right now, we have June Angus, co-founder and president of Amphipod. How are you feeling, and how's the conference going for you so far?
It is going great. We've been super busy.
Oh,
Close enough. We've been super busy. And yeah, we've been in the business for a long time. So lots of customers, specialty stores throughout the country.
So yeah, talk to me about the origins. I mean, I know you said you've been in business for a long time, but like, when did it start? Like, how did it get going?
We started in 1998, and my husband and I started the business. We were running and had no place to put our keys and our money and our phones, so we developed a pouch that locks onto your waistband called the MicroPack. And my husband is a mechanical engineer, and I have a background in sports product development.
Oh.
Different industries, soft and hard goods. And so we solved the problem for ourselves. We produced this small pouch, and I went around to local running stores and said, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want to buy 12 of these? And they said, yeah, great. And then they asked us for other things. Our customers really like your products. Can you make a water bottle pack that doesn't bounce? Can you make more storage so we can carry more? And so we just continued to develop. We have now over 300 SKUs, 300 styles.
Wow.
And our brand covers all accessories for running. So hydration, training, like storage, race day, and visibility. And our products are distributed in specialty running stores and specialty outdoor stores throughout the U.S. Yeah, and we're all about design and innovation. So we're very specific and particular about how the products are designed, that they're minimalist, and we've received our 115th patent. So
That's awesome. That's amazing.
thank you.
I don't have any.
You need
just,
some.
Just to let you know, I mean, I've been working on them, but
Oh, and a patent?
no, I have not.
Oh, okay.
But I do need you guys to just to, like, a little sidebar here. I need you all to put your heads together to solve a different problem for me. We'll get back to all the great things because I really want to talk about this vest because
Yeah.
me and my friends are like anti like headlamp thingy.
Oh, okay.
Because I think we're maybe not anti, but I mean, like, I feel like sometimes
It's hard to find a comfortable. We're looking for a
yeah,
comfortable
it gets
one.
weird, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you could possibly find a way to make me something that I can be like at my front door, because I always lose my keys in my house,
Oh,
and I feel like the two of you could figure it out for me. If you don't have to come up with anything right now, but
I have something right here for you.
do you?
No.
I'm about to say,
But come to
oh
our
my
booth, and
gosh.
I have about 300 things for you.
I will come over there and we will find something and we'll rebrand it and name it together and we'll start a company tomorrow.
I love it.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Let's do it.
116th patent coming up.
Okay.
But yeah, can we talk about the before we get into this one? I do want to talk about the minimalist part of that
Yeah.
because I think that as a runner, sometimes we think about accessories and for me at least, I kind of think like, well, that'll be too bulky or that'll be this and it'll feel like and it'll be too much.
Yeah.
And even on sometimes it looks like on other people, like, I don't know if I want to wear that because it just seems like it'd be extra. How do you go about creating stuff that's usable and utilitarian, but it's easy to wear and it doesn't get in the way?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we started because most people want to run with nothing. Like a safety pin is almost too much.
Yeah.
And so the key is fit and form, basically make it ergonomic to fit on your body, but also the physics of carrying things. So you really need to address making sure things are close to your body so they don't bounce.
Okay.
As a runner, you probably know having anything bouncing is super annoying. And we really try to minimize the whole form factor of the product and use all sorts of materials that allow it to be form fitting, size adjustable, and comfortable.
That's great. Yeah. I know that when I do my long runs, I need the fuel, and we kind of played around with like putting up tables instead of having to carry anything. I ended up carrying a handheld to fuel for my long run training for the marathon. But I know that there are products out there that are lighter and easier, but still have enough for you. That's what I'm interested in because, I think fueling strategy is utmost important, especially when you're marathon training. So it's good to know that there's other products out there that can, help people like me who don't like to carry things in my hand, get out there and stay properly hydrated.
Yeah. And I think the key is only taking as much as you need. And we design our products around that.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, what are some of the products that, like, I mean, I know we have things that are built more for like the everyday runner, they're running at night and different things like that. But what about what are some of the products that you see that start selling a lot during like marathon season when people are getting ready to get out there? Obviously there's a bunch of different things that we use during training, but what are the ones that you see end up in like on a race day in a marathon?
Well, I think a lot of people need to train with their hydration before the event, right? That they're going to carry. And so that starts well before the event. But basically hydration, we have waist-mounted hydration, handheld hydration, and vests. And I think the key is just being comfortable and having that accessible during the race. So hydration's a big one. You want a place to put your race number. And so we make, custom designed race number tabs so that they're not bouncing around. You can attach it to your hydration belt, your pack, or have a race number belt. So that's a big one at races. But I'd say primarily hydration, and then a place to put your phone.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, want to have that with them. So we make a lot of low profile storage solutions for that.
That's fantastic.
So daylight savings time has happened, and everyone now like pretty much it's dark all day unless you're only time it's bright is when you're at work.
Right.
So it's so so many people are starting their runs in the dark and maybe ending after sunrise, or starting their runs in the dark or whatever. And it's time for safety and trying to figure out like how are you seen, but then also not adding on so much stuff where it's just you almost decide to do the unsafe thing because of like it's just too much stuff to deal with. So let's talk about this great piece of art and patent from Amphipod.
Thank you. I think the key for visibility is both reflectivity and lighting. And this product here, it's called the Zinglet Optic Beam, and it is rechargeable. So that's one really critical thing. But basically, you want to be visible to car lights, and that's what reflectivity will do to you. And then this one has lighted tubes that flash essentially. So even if there are no cars around, no car lights, no shining lights, you will also be visible. It's also recommended to wear, something flashing high and low on your body and also on your moving appendages. So it's nice. We have clip lights and all sorts of other, bands you can attach that are both rechargeable and reflective. But this is under 3 ounces. It's super lightweight. And
so the bag weighs more than the goods.
Exactly. It's size adjust, so it fits everyone really well, whether you're small or a taller, larger person. And it's got reflectivity, as I said, and the lighting, fully rechargeable. That's a big trend right now in lighting is not to have to buy batteries and dispose of them.
I need to get one of these for everybody in my neighborhood because I don't have street lights in my neighborhood, and nobody wears anything reflective. And so you're driving home at night or even at like 6 in the evening, they're walking their dog. I can't see them. You know, maybe it's because I'm getting older.
I mean, I wasn't
But-
gonna do an ageism thing here, but this probably has something to do with your age.
But I remember my neighbor, he literally stopped me on a run one day. It was like, thank you for wearing something reflective.
Yeah.
You know, but nobody in the neighborhood does. So we need to get more of these out there. So
Yeah, and I think the message, just getting the message out, if you're aware of it, tell your friends and family.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and then I like that. I do like that it's that it seems to be fairly like easy and simple and straightforward and very safe. I mean, because I've seen people wear these and you see people a mile away.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, I don't know what that is up there. It's either an alien or a runner, maybe both. I mean, you never know.
true.
You never know. So what's your goal here at TRE as we wrap this up? Like, what's your goal here? Are you what's your goal? I won't finish the sentence for you.
Yeah, so we're here with all our specialty stores from around the country, and our goal is to educate them on the new products and touch base and see how we can service them better. We always promote shopping locally, and we've been really big on really getting people into the stores to support the local running communities. So that's really our goal, is to educate our stores and help them in any way we can.
Yeah, I think the more the stores are educated, the retailers are educated about the product, it's easier to, like, 'cause you come in there to buy shoes, but then you see all these other things and you're not really sure what it is. But the more that a retailer can speak to, the ease of use and the weight of this and the reasons and all that stuff, it makes it easier for us to make the safe and right decision. So thank you so much. Hopefully the rest of the conference goes super well for you. Congratulations on all the success that you guys have had with the business.
Thank you so much.
yes,
Thank
enjoy
you.
the conference. Thanks again. Good to see you. Good
Yeah,
to meet you. And
too.
have a great day in Austin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You too. I appreciate the opportunity.
And I'll be over there to see what we can
Please.
figure out for
It's
that
a great,
key
it's a
thing.
great
Oh,
booth.
don't take the headphones with you. See?
Come by.
Headphones.
Come
Yeah.
by. Yeah, that would have been a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I've seen the setup. It looks fantastic. So we'll definitely stop by.
Please come by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there like a room where you could be in the dark and then
We can ask them to turn the lights
all
on.
of them? Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
All
should
right.
do that.
That's a
Thank
good
you.
idea.
Thank you so
Take care.
much.
Thanks.
Thanks so much. Next up,
So Gary,
we
I
have a
think
surprise guest.
so, but I gotta talk about this.
Oh,
for
you
a
want to talk
second.
about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that we should get us an Amphipod vest.
We definitely need reflectivity. You and I do not wear enough of that.
I mean-
Especially in the winter.
I mean, speak for yourself, man. I got stuff that's reflective.
You have a jacket that I do wear, but we need more. We need
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't. You wear my jacket?
the running sleep jacket.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
At,
I'm like-
chiptimerunning.com.
I'm like, no wonder where my jacket went. I thought you were talking about my
I
jacket.
need to get paid for saying that, by the way.
No, I think I bought lunch yesterday. But yeah, so I think safety's a big thing, and it's it sounds crazy, but sometimes it's the stuff doesn't look cool, And I think that, like, I've seen people in those vests. I'm like, oh, I could wear
The
that.
vest, the vest works, especially 3 ounces and rechargeable.
Yeah, it just is what it is. Throw it
Yeah.
on really quick, safety first. Because sometimes at night we're really trying to, get out there, get on the roads, get some good miles in, and then when the snow starts, you can't run on the sidewalk
No, nobody
sometimes. So you
shovels the
kind of
sidewalks anymore.
have to be in the street a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
So having something like that, I think, is necessary because I think we both have reasons to, want to go home, after the run. Other
That's
than
true.
the fact that's the end of our run, but you know what I mean.
I get you.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you're
Safety
putting down.
first, bro.
Safety first.
Safety first, then teamwork. All right. So I heard we have a special guest.
We do. We have
That's
Holly Weiss with 3 Dot Design.
3 Dot Design. Let's
Yeah.
go. 3 Dot Design is a strategic
Come on up, Holly.
retail design and visual merchandising company that aligns brands with consumer needs to create exciting and enticing retail environments.
I love the term retail scientist, by the way.
Retail
thanks.
scientists and retail environments.
I
Go
throw
ahead.
these on?
Yeah,
Yep,
come
throw
on,
those
and
on.
then speak right into the mic. And
Okay.
All right. How you doing,
Welcome.
Holly?
Hi, good.
Good.
How about you?
I like this.
Oh,
this
well,
shirt.
thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't make it, but I could have.
You should just
I
say
would
it.
have just
Uh-huh.
said it.
Coulda said that
I
you
do it
just
all the
did.
time. I tell
I do it
people,
all the time.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
I like your shirt, Gary.
I know I made it myself.
You made this one?
Congrats.
Yeah,
You
Uh-huh.
made this one too then.
yeah,
Great. Thank you
did.
so much.
I
You
did.
guys are really talented.
It really, thank you. I
Uh-huh.
appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's not me. He did the shirt. you
Right,
know?
Well,
obviously.
Tommy
yeah.
did the buttons, but
Do you have a zipper?
No, it's just buttons. I mean,
Yeah.
because you want to. Sometimes you want to just be able to just whoosh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta get that shirt off,
Sometimes.
you know. All right, so Holly, tell us about 3 Dot Design and why people need to know what you guys do.
Well, we're based in Boulder, Colorado. I don't know. Do I look at both you guys?
You can look right into, you
Okay.
can tell the people at home.
Okay, great.
Give them some love.
We're based in Boulder, Colorado, and we do retail design and store merchandising consulting. And so basically, I learned many, many years ago that there's a huge need in this retail world in this whole channel, specialty run, for help with store design and merchandising. Because you walk into an old, dated running store and there's maybe just stuff piled everywhere and it's not organized, and all of the nice retail out there in the world, like Anthropologie and Whole Foods and all the places, they've trained all the customers to expect really beautiful, well organized stores, and those customers come into a running store and it's kind of lackluster sometimes. Yeah. So we've worked with retailers over decades to teach them how they can improve their merchandising and get better traffic flow and not have dead spots, and it makes a way more enjoyable experience for their customers, and they sell more product.
Did you get your start in like an interior design type career? How did you get involved in
Not
space?
exactly, but it was a little more organic. I went to my degree from Michigan State is in studio art and
very
design.
nice.
So I've always had like a
go green,
go Spartans.
Yeah.
So I've had
Or blue.
No.
green, but and then I worked at a run specialty store in college called Playmakers.
Oh
in
yeah,
Michigan,
yeah.
which
That's
is
my,
like
that
a
was my
very
hometown store. I grew up in Detroit.
Oh my God. Yeah. So Playmakers.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
legendary, right?
Yeah.
So I worked for them and I did all their merchandising and I loved doing it. And it was kind of came really naturally. So then I moved out to Boulder, Colorado from there, and I worked at Perlazumi, which is a cycling apparel company. And I started doing their retail planning and rolling out concept shops, and it just kind of kept going from
That's
there.
fantastic.
So it was organic. And then
Yeah.
I was the director of retail at Giant Bicycles, and so it's always been specialty run and bike. And I would say we live more in specialty run.
That's great. So you're the one that when they walk in the store, they see the brand new shoe, like the brand new
the
Nike
feature,
Amphipod
the
3
big,
or whatever.
right?
Yeah,
The
there it is right
mannequins.
there. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that's awesome.
So that's what we do.
That is a science, because you hear all about, like, when you go to the cereal aisle, the retailers put all the sugary cereals so your kids can see them first.
That's right.
Yes.
That's why we call ourselves retail scientists.
Yeah.
Man, that is crazy. That's some scientific stuff right there.
And you also have to do like the music as well, because music's a big part of it.
We do some of that, and another thing that's been fun, if people want to invest in it, is scent.
Oh,
like secretly making
no.
your store smell like grandma's chocolate chip cookies or
Oh,
something like that.
man.
It's all about creating the experience and having people
You
want
know
to
what
stay
would
in
keep
there.
somebody in a store?
What's that?
If you could pump in small infusions of like McDonald's fries smell.
You can. You can get anything you want. It's amazing.
I mean, offices. I mean, if you think about it, if you guys are watching this and you have an office, or you got a company, pump in those McDonald's fries smell
all day
Either
long.
they will be very unproductive because they'll be at McDonald's all the time, or they'll just be like, yo, I don't want to leave. It smells too good in here.
Or it might make you want to run. Motivate
To
you.
McDonald's.
Or because you ate so many fries. I
Right.
mean, I don't know. I'm just
Right. It's so
spitballing
many
here.
different ways they can go here, but I feel like it's all pluses pretty much.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So how many? I mean, I'm sure you can't tell me how many stores, but have you worked in stores all across the country? Are you mainly based
all
in
over the world?
Denver area?
Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So very few of our stores are local. Actually, I mean, we've done some in Boulder and Denver area, but we've done them all over the country. Oh my gosh, I've been doing this a long time. So
Are
we've
you
done
doing big box or just like the small?
It's more
independent?
specialty.
Yeah.
I mean, we have worked with some big box over the years, but specialty is kind of where we really live.
That's
so we've done probably 500 store remodels, I'd say. I'd guess.
All I'm picturing is like this is a perfect opportunity for like a show. Like you
Totally.
walk in.
Yes, the reality store flip.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I mean, because it's
HGTV, if you're listening.
Yeah.
Hello.
I mean,
3 dots.
So I mean, because you have so many stores that have been around in the community for a while, and have a great history, and they're probably not going anywhere. But it's just like it's easy for companies like that or businesses like that to just stay the way they are and not really want to or see the need to change.
You're
anything.
hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah.
That is exactly our customer right there.
Okay.
We've been here 30 years. The community loves us. We've got great staff. They
We don't
trust
need to-
us.
Yeah.
But now we've got X, Y, and Z store and they look beautiful and they're
Yeah.
down the street and we haven't really changed in 30 years. So that's our customer right there.
How did
Yep.
the pandemic affect the business? Because people weren't going into stores, so how are you able to
Right.
kind of, you know, bridge that gap?
Yeah. Well, it was a panic at first, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, there's never going to be a retail experience again ever. But that quickly, subsided. And then, you know, I always say like the good businesses are never going anywhere. And it's true, right? The good retailers, they knew they were going to get through the pandemic. They knew they still had to do their remodels that they were thinking about. So we just started doing things remotely much more, and which we've done now for the last 3 years. I'd say almost every store has been done remotely without
Sure.
flying to the location. We'll fly if we're going to do merchandising and set them up, but if it's just the store design, so that was the big change.
Okay.
Is more remote work.
Yeah, and that seems I'm gonna say easy, but just the way technology
Doable.
is now, doable. Yeah.
Yeah,
Take
totally
a couple
doable.
photos, send them over to me, and they'll get our.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do
Uh,
like Zoom walkthroughs and make a video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
What's one step? Like, I mean, obviously you can't give away all the secret sauce, but if someone's watching this and they have a shop, what's one thing that you could like a free piece of game that's like,
Yeah.
hey, what
That's
something's
easy.
changed? Yeah.
I would almost guarantee you have too much product on the floor.
Okay.
So almost always, it's people get in this industry because they're passionate about running, and that usually means they're passionate about running gear.
Yeah.
So they hoard it.
Yeah.
It's like we all do it. That's why we're here. So just literally a clean out of product, like go to your wall, walk around your walls, look at, do I have 5 of this accessory when I really only need 2, and just start pulling the product off and blow it out in a sale or whatever. And that alone is going to make your store look so much nicer and bigger and more open.
Yeah, I pitched an idea yesterday that was on the extreme side of that.
All right,
I
let's hear
said that people should have a shoe store,
Yep.
and you walk in and there's no shoes.
Okay, so it's a shoeless store.
It's just walls.
Okay. All right, and are they is the experience just
Well,
to
then
like hang out?
I think you're saying the shoe will come to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, no,
right.
the shoe the shoe picks you. It's like you come in,
Right.
you start talking to people, like it's immediate. It's like Apple.
just-
It's like Apple, but they took the phones in the back.
Right.
I
right.
came in here for a phone, so I'm gonna get a phone.
Can I try this idea? Can I steal it?
I mean, if you steal seems like a really crazy word, so what about like you do it, but then like somehow we
Give you some serious credit,
like
Yeah.
like
Right.
this, yeah,
like a commission.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like-
that's it.
Only
Yeah.
95%.
Totally reasonable. It's a
Okay.
great idea.
So now that we got that out the way, yeah.
Yeah.
So you come in and there's no shoes, and it's all about the customer service, and you start talking, and then the shoes start.
Well, it's funny. I know we're joking about this, but that's what.
I'm not joking, really.
Okay. Okay. Good. But Run Specialty is all about customer service, as we know, right? So, that's why so often this piece of it falls through, because they're not worrying about it. It's like, hey, I'm going to be able to sell the product no matter what. They know, they trust me, but actually it's a lot better experience if we make it nicer, right?
Yeah, it's like a better experience. And then I mean, it's you may have like return customers that are always going to come to your store because they've been doing it forever.
Ever.
Remodeling a store and making it look more appealing to that person would make them feel better too.
Yeah,
But then
it's
also,
exciting.
what about
Yeah.
like the people that aren't used to your store and will walk in for a couple minutes, get a little weirded
Yeah.
out, and walk out?
That's your first, you get like 3 seconds
Yeah.
from the average customer when they walk in to make an impression, and it's either going to be
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yeah.
So
If I walk into a store, if I decided 3 seconds I don't like the store, I got too much like I feel like embarrassed, so I'll just be in there for maybe 5 minutes. or
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
right.
I'll give
Yeah,
you
you're awkward, you're
I'll give you another
uncomfortable.
4
Yeah.
minutes and like
Yeah.
57
Uh-huh.
seconds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
Right.
then just
So-
be in there.
So you've been at TRE for a couple of days now.
Yep.
What are the top 5 retail specialty stores here that you are going to call out and say you need our business?
Oh my
God.
gosh.
I was like,
Wow.
wow, this is a good question. And then it turned left hard.
Right.
Yeah.
We've worked with, we've come to every single TRE I think that there's ever been. So
Oh, wow.
over the years, we've worked with so many retailers here, and a lot of them now are doing their second, third, fourth, fifth store, and they come back to us for repeat. So it's really fun to come
That's
here
great.
and see them all. Yeah.
And you've obviously you've networked so well that you've got friends here. It's like a reunion.
Oh
every
yeah.
time.
Oh my gosh. Totally. It's just like once a year you see all these people, and it's great.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't expect you to call anybody. You can just tell me offline.
Tell-
man.
yeah, tell-
Exactly.
tell-
I'll
that'd
send
be
you an
great.
email.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a list.
Right. I'll list.
So like what's one thing that you remember that stands out as feedback, from, you don't have to name the company, but
Right.
like what's one of those like emails or comments that you got that like really put a battery in your back and you said like we're doing this the right way?
Well, we hear often that customers come in and all the time. Our stores will email us, whatever, and call us and say, oh my gosh, these customers, like you said, that have been coming here for 20, 30 years, that they never stay around and shop. And now they're staying in and hanging out and like shopping more. They usually just come and get their shoes, grab some socks and hightail it out.
Yeah.
So we hear that all the time, which is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we want to happen, right?
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
Yeah. So that things like that. With bike shops, they always talk about how they're no longer trying to negotiate, like, hey, can you give me a deal on that? Because they don't feel comfortable doing that in the
Right.
beautiful store environment. So
Right.
it's working.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean, I love that. Like, it's really cool. I mean, because all jokes aside, I mean, I love those shows where you do go in and like you help someone that's meant a lot to the community, and they're just having a hard time to finding out and deciding how to change here and there,
Right.
And then they finally make that change, and they really get to see like, oh wow, this is transformational for our business, and we planned on being here forever, but we know now that we've taken the right step in the right direction to embrace new customers and and kind of like they say thank you to the ones that have supported us to get here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. There is now that I've had a second,
Yeah.
there's a store here, Fleet Feet Montclair,
Oh,
and they're family run.
Yeah.
And you guys, those guys?
Yes, of
They
course.
did the
Yeah,
they did the race the donut earlier this year.
Oh,
I
right.
actually,
That sounds right.
before New York City last year, I did a panel discussion with an athlete there
Oh,
in their
great.
store.
Did you see that we remodeled their store?
It was okay.
Yeah, average. It was okay.
No, it was
But-
it was really nice. And then they actually they've expanded recently,
which we did for them again.
and it looks even better. Like
Thank you.
I honestly, not just because you're sitting right next to me, but I did walk in and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Oh,
you know,
good.
Because it
Well,
was a smaller space, and sometimes those smaller spaces
yes.
can be weird.
Well, so you should have seen it before. So it was, 35 years old
Mhm.
and so claustrophobic and but they're the perfect example of this like wonderful family run
Yeah.
store. Everybody loves the whole family. Everybody knows them. They're so connected with that community, and they just knew like we're maxed out. So, and then doing the expansion, and those two are never going to be able to retire basically. 'Cause
Yeah,
the
no,
store
You got
keeps
it now. That's gonna
growing.
keep on growing.
That's great.
And then being so close to New York, it's probably like, or even the bigger city, New Jersey part. It's
Right.
like it's like you want to have that look and that feel, and you
Right.
don't want
Yeah, you
someone
wanna
else to
be
have come from just like
contemporary looking and-
30 minutes away, and
Yeah.
they go like, oh, this place looks like
Yeah.
a dump,
Podunky little, yeah.
Right. So
Exactly.
so thank you so much. It was a great surprise to have you on
Oh,
the show.
good. Well, thanks for having
Um,
me. It was fun.
And I hope we get more business from this conference than ever before.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah, so good to meet you. Thanks
So
so
when-
much.
when,
Have a
when
good
you,
one.
when you pitch that idea, let me know.
Oh, you're getting a commission.
All right.
Uh-huh.
The Harry Potter find your shoe. Yeah.
We're not making fun of this, Gary.
No, we are. I mean, I am. We are not. I am.
I thought we were a team.
Well, I didn't hear commission towards me. So
I mean, I'll kick you a couple bucks. Not like I get 95% of I don't even know what we're talking about here margin wise, but I'd easily pay for lunch for you. Easily.
$10.
Easily. No, a good lunch.
That was a fun interview.
That was a good surprise,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That was awesome, and I feel like it's like one of those parts. That's the cool thing about TRE is like, you don't really know what and how many people and how many different companies really support this whole running industry as a
Right.
whole.
It's not just shoes.
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah.
shoes. Like, I mean, I think the first time I come here, I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a bunch, and you say, wow, like there's a lot of different brands here for so many different reasons.
Yep.
And some of the bigger brands like wouldn't even, or the bigger retailers wouldn't even be able to operate without some of these pieces.
No, in fact, that was such a surprise. I hadn't even occurred to me that, of course, there'd be a retail scientist
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
pumping in, French fries cents.
I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You
It's
know
got to
that's
be
a good
McDonald's
idea.
fries though.
Yeah, just it can't just.
Yeah.
I mean,
McDonald's is not sponsoring them yet. But
well, it could be like Five Guys fries.
Five Guys fries works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Five Guys fries works.
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have New Balance. We have Chris, the senior product manager from New Balance up here. Really excited. We actually spent some time with New Balance a month ago or so.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time with New Balance in the build-up for New York.
Yes, exactly. In New Balance, but
Yeah.
I'm saying with New Balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good,
Nice to
good.
see you.
Get
Yeah.
as close as possible. Or you can just pop it up, you know, if you
No,
want to.
all good, all
Okay,
good.
cool,
Yeah.
cool. All right, so let's before we get to talking, let's let
I'll
people
put my
let's let
my
people
my two
drool
presents
and
here.
ogle
Yeah.
all over them. First off, how are you feeling? Day 2 of TRE. How you feeling?
Feeling great. This is such a good event. I heard as I was walking up what you were talking about here at TRE. It's just a great meeting of this industry that's so special. Like
Yeah.
the brands are a part of it, but it's really all the retailers here. It's really informative for us as a brand as well to be
Yeah.
here and learn from everybody. So it's day 2 is going well.
Yeah,
That's
so
great.
you've been doing a little bit of talking so
Just-
far at this conference?
Just a little bit, yeah. Lots of media, some pre-lines upstairs, meeting with accounts. Yeah, it's been good.
That's great. Yeah, no, you guys have a great booth over there. And like Tommy mentioned, we've been working with New Balance, especially through the New York Marathon, and everybody's been really great. And the shoes have been really great. And we're excited to kind of see what's next for New Balance heading into 2024.
Yeah, we're super excited for 24 from a product perspective.
Yeah.
Tommy, you ran in some special stuff, right?
No.
Not New York. Nothing
just joking,
special.
sorry.
I was like, well,
Sorry.
I think I saw something on
like, wait,
Instagram.
Yeah, I ran in the New Balance. I ran in the V4s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about that though. I mean, I'll give you my feedback after you tell us how great they are and why.
Yeah. So I think taking a step back, just 2024 for us at New Balance is a massive year. The product coming out is better than ever.
Yeah.
And you're specifically talking to the fuel cell product line. So we have 2 major platforms. We have this fresh foam platform and the fuel cell platform. And they're really built around creating 2 different experiences for runners, right?
Yeah.
So you have fresh foam, that's soft, pillowy, bouncy, maybe some recovery runs. Anybody take it, throw a pair of 1080s on and go for a run. That's the goal with the fresh foam platform. Whereas when we look at fuel cell, it's a little bit more energy return, a little bit more pep in the step. Our fuel cell product also includes our race day product. So the marathoning shoes, the half marathoning shoes, track spikes. It's what our elite athletes are competing in. So definitely a little bit more of that bite, a little bit more of that edge. And for 2024, in that specifically fuel cell experiential platform, we really wanted to show up in a big way. 2024 is a massive year for our entire sport, for everybody here. It's the Olympics being in Paris, all eyes are going to be on that event. We wanted to show up in a way that really made a big splash. So what you're going to see here is with this elite coming out in a few weeks at the US Olympic trials is a totally new design language from us and a totally new foam compound in fuel cell. So if you look at our shoes right now, they're very angular. They have these kind of facets, if you will, all over the shoe.
Yeah.
Those are all purposeful.
Okay.
We were able to shave a ton of weight out of the shoe by having these very purposeful design features. And every shoe in the fuel cell line going forward is going to have those kind of faceted designs. So, and they're all a little different, right? So you have the elite is going to be a little bit more aggressive in the waisting, in the midfoot, whereas this trainer, which I'll talk about in a little bit, is a little bit more generous. It has a little bit of a wider forefoot, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Talking about the elite specifically here, where you're moving to 100% PIBA midsole, and that's just going to provide a ton more energy return from where we've ever been. So really excited about the foam upgrade itself with the elite. And then we have our carbon fiber plate that runs through the middle, lighter weight plate than the predecessor, some ripples in there for added stability, and then that energy arc technology to allow the plate to flex and form and then give you that little extra snap in your step.
So which one are we diving into first, the elite or the trainer?
Let's talk about
let's
talk about the elite.
All right, so yeah, so let's talk about. I mean, because I know a lot of people have the New Balance Elite V3, and tell me what if they liked that shoe, what will they find in this one? But what are the things that you feel as a designer said like this is a better shoe than the last one, and why?
The Elite V3 is a great shoe, and I think it's one of the biggest things that we hear about the Elite V3 is it's a little bit of its accommodating nature. So people just feel like they can put it on and they're not strapping something to their foot that's uncomfortable, if you will, right? You're running a marathon, you're out there for 26 miles, hours on end on your feet. You want to be comfortable, but you also want to move fast. And it's a really fine line to kind of thread the needle for. in having something that's super fast, super aggressive, but also at the same time comfortable.
Right.
So if you like the comfort of the V3, the V4 only builds on that. Just even from an upper standpoint, it's a little bit stripped down. It's we have our Phantom Fit technology, which is we bond 2 layers on the inside. So if you look, you'll see that kind of black little piece on the midfoot there, really just strapping you in to the midfoot. We're putting you on a Puma midsole with a carbon fiber plate, all this metabolic economy benefits. And then if you're kind of sloppy in the shoe and moving around, you're wasting all those benefits. So, so to answer your question, the comfortability is going to be there. And why this model is better is definitely that midsole.
Okay.
Totally different compound. It's just going to be a very different experience in the pop and step that you feel underfoot.
Yeah. So go ahead, Gary.
I was gonna say, you notice, and you added a tongue this time. Before it was the sock fit. Now you've got more the traditional tongue. What was the reason for kind of removing away from the sock fit to back to the more traditional tongue fit?
Yeah, as we're building product, we go through multiple iterations, and we are starting these projects sometimes 2 years before. So we're starting the previous version before we know anything, really have marketplace feedback from the previous version. So that's why from a lot of these brands, you'll see updates reflected in the one version later from the feedback. We actually extended the life cycle of the V3. So that ran for 18 months.
Okay.
So we were able to incorporate some marketplace data into this and really see that the consumer wanted a more traditional tongue rather than the booty fit that we had in the V3. So we made that decision to move just to simplify the upper design.
That's great.
Yeah. And I could speak to because I ran the New York City Marathon in that one. I liked, like I said, I liked the V3, but I did feel like over time, it didn't have like enough of that like pop to it or like help, I guess, later on in the race. I feel like, if the more training you do in it, the easier it is to get used to it. But then like sometimes in those races, we all know it's like I want to be able to step, at mile 23 or 4 and like in the shoe goes, I got you a little bit here, and the V4 did that for me, and I felt like it was a really, really great shoe and a big step, because the look is so much different as well, and it's not just the look, it's the feel as well. So it's a really big jump, I feel like, for New Balance and the elite shoe game.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and we're really happy to get you a pair of those triple white ones, those proto colorways that seem to be getting some love on social, which is awesome.
Yeah. I did a little. I didn't have the day that I wanted to, for a few different reasons, but I did a little dance. Somebody got some good shoe content for me, and so I did my part, man. I got some views on it.
Yeah.
Hey, you were out there.
Out there having a good time
in the streets of New York, and that is one big party in New York. We
are
sponsoring that event, so it's I'm glad you had
amazing.
a good time.
Yeah. So let's talk about this trainer.
Yeah. So we're looking at all these learnings that we get from our sports research lab, our elite athletes that are in the product, and wanting to move those learnings, the runners getting benefits from these shoes, whether it be the recovery time from the high rebound foams or the carbon fiber plate being a lever arm for them. We wanted to take those learnings into a daily training solution.
Right.
So when you look at the trainer,
I'm excited about this one. Yeah.
We're getting so much love right now on the predecessor. So the V2, people are really reacting positively to this shoe. So we wanted to make sure that we kept the ethos there of where we were, but further enhanced for the runner. So you're going to see that kind of angled midsole geometry I was talking about, but the overall profile of the shoe. So the center line, if you will, the kind of the width is going to be very similar to predecessor. With that, we are moving to a Puma blend midsole material. So this fuel cell material is going to be different than the predecessor. It's just going to give you a little bit more pep in the step with the foam.
Yeah.
So even if you kind of squeeze both of these, you'll feel the difference. This is EVA based, but it has the Puma in it. So it's going to give you a little bit that nice running experience that you have, and a little bit more of that familiar kind of training shoe.
Yeah, I like so this is the Rebel.
This is the trainer.
Oh, geez. Okay, so yeah, this makes sense. So I like the fact that this kind of plays off of the look of this shoe as well. So I mean, it feels like it would be nice to have both of these. You know, it'd be nice to have this for like the race day, or maybe some strong interval work, or big long tempos. But then also you have this as an option, the trainer as an option to put up some really big miles and use it throughout the training block. And that's one of the things that we had a really great time with New Balance, as coming through the whole training block. We were provided all these different shoes and all the great the great offerings for trainers, but that like New Balance has a crazy list of offerings from almost for every stand or every point in a marathon training block, or forget marathon training block, even just for like the runner that just wants to get out every few days just to get a run in. There's so many different choices that you can come at that with and base it on like how you feel today or what type of work you're trying to do out there.
Yeah, somebody who's running 6 days a week, I think we'd probably use 5 to 6 different shoes per week based on what that particular day called for, whether an easy run, a recovering run, a tempo run, a workout. We went through the gamut for sure. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. So the V2 of the trainer, like I think I wore that probably too much for training. Like I just kept going back.
Yeah, I mean the V2 and the V1 were, tons of love. You hear it all over from the influencers or the podcasters. I know Ali on the Run talks about it all the time, and but yeah, I didn't get the V1. I was running the V1.
Cool. He wasn't cool then.
I wasn't cool then, but the V2, it's really honestly in the rotation a lot.
We have something special with this shoe, with just the franchise itself. And to both your points, we make a shoe. We look at it as a toolbox. We make a shoe for every different type of run, how you're feeling every different day. And while we'd love you to get all of your tools from New Balance, right? We realize that that's not always realistic, but we want to give you the experience. If you're in our elite, we want that to be a seamless transition to the trainer. So the experience that you're having is similar and it's not alienating you. So you did all your training work leading up to your marathon in the trainer. You slap this on and it's going to be very seamless.
That's
so
great.
Yeah.
Man, all right. Well, thank you so much, bro. When can people see this one online or in retail, and this one as well?
So the Elite is going to be available 2-1, and it's going to be retail for $250. And then the trainer will be right now 8-1, and it'll be $180.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
That's
man.
great.
No, thank you guys for having me.
Hey, good to see you.
Yeah, good
Thanks
to
so much.
see you.
And thanks
Yeah.
for everything for helping the PR project Never Sleeps get ready for New York City.
No, yeah, we really appreciate all your support as well. And like I said, just keep looking forward to keep working together.
Sounds good.
All right, thanks, guys.
Awesome, man. All right, man. Thank you so much. You can just leave. You can leave this one.
You have the other one. What sizes are those again?
I purposely brought the women's sizes.
So he said he purposely brought smaller sizes so we wouldn't be able to try to finagle a pair out of them. That's fine. Oh, I see. She's got a size over there. It looks really close to what I would be rocking.
That's got to be at least a 10, right? Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's so. I was excited. So for some reason I thought that was the Rebel, but it's not.
No.
And it's the Trainer V3.
Out in
that
August.
was a surprise. Out in August.
Yeah. Hopefully sooner, if you know what I mean.
Hopefully I can tell them that the new January is the new August.
It's January. Yeah. So if you're listening,
January is the new August for that shoe.
New August for the They're not listening.
They're not listening at all.
But
I can't wait for those because the V2 is amazing. So we're definitely gonna try to put that together. Try to see if we can get some love.
So we should get started because I know somebody has a plane to catch, and so we want to get
for sure
our friend up and running. So our next guest is with Ann Mother.
Yeah, so we have Ann Mother, Alicia Montano, co-founder, president, and CEO, and energy giver, life breather. What's up? Give me a hug. All right, hold on. Let's see the shirt. Well, hold on. Let's get the mic.
We got a leader, risk taker, groundbreaker, instigator, and mother.
That's fantastic.
And mother. So
fantastic.
that's the way it works.
Hold on.
Here, there you go.
Thank you.
All right.
That's the way it works.
Headphones.
On here.
Good to go. All right. So, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Is it covering my flower? Okay. I feel fantastic. I feel amazing. It's day 2 for me at TRE.
Day 2.
I get to spend some time with you all.
Yeah.
It's a good day.
And then you're out of here soon.
And then I'm out. I got to get on a flight. I'm going to be heading
I hear you have a getaway car out. So
Yeah.
blowing up for you right now.
That's how I roll.
I can hear it
That's
revving
how I
right
roll.
now.
Yeah, that's how I roll. Yeah, I'm headed to USATF annual meeting. There's like a surprise there for Ann Mother. So I'm very excited to find out what that is. And I'll have to update you guys. But it's a good little stop for me to make happen. I like surprises.
Yeah,
Except
who
for-
doesn't?
Where is that?
Orlando,
state?
Florida.
Okay. all
Yeah.
right.
So hopefully I'll get to take a look at what that marathon course looks like for
If
the
you're
Olympic
gonna be
trials.
there this weekend,
I
you're gonna stay
am.
there. I'll be there as
Yeah.
well. I'm leaving on Friday.
What are you, a world traveler?
Well, at least country traveler.
Well, you know, it's part of the world.
You might be right. You might be right. Well, yeah, that's out for review. But yeah, so I'll see you this weekend then.
Yeah,
And we'll be
maybe.
able to kick it, and hopefully it's not. I was gonna say hopefully it's not too hot, but it's like 19 degrees in
No,
Michigan.
it's gonna
so
be
I'll
hot.
just-
Yeah.
I'll accept it.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So Ann Mother. So like, can you tell me a little bit about the history of Ann Mother, how it got started?
Yes.
And then we'll go from there, because I think it's one of the cool things about this thing is it wasn't just brands and just retailers.
Yeah.
It's organizations that are doing things for change and pushing the envelope to make sure that brands and organizations really don't just try to forget or move past some of the things that need to happen for athletes and the people running out, just the general public.
Yep. Well, you know, that's us. We're making a huge social impact on our greater community in the US and hopefully in the world. Ann Mother was started in 2020, after I did the 2019 New York Times op-ed, where I talked about how professional athletes were pushed out of their careers when they became mothers. And this is something that women who become mothers face across all industries, where it's your entry point to your career is oftentimes halted or comes to a dead stop when you become a mom because of the systemic barriers that we face. And when it came to sports, it was no different. So when I did the 2019 op-ed, folks came across all industries. I were like, oh my gosh, I have these stories to tell you about my career. Mine came from me being a 7-time national champion. I multiple time medalist, an Olympian. And then, over a decade into my career, I was like, I think this is a really good time for me to also add to my family by way of having kids. And the only reason there was a barrier to my success thereafter is because of the systems that were in place that ultimately had me lose an opportunity to pursue my career by way of losing my financial ability to fund myself.
Yeah.
So, I did the op-ed, 2020 rolls around, and I'm like, what are we actually going to do to affect change that isn't just me telling my story? How do I help these siloed stories that are existing in a space that, women, mothers, caregivers have been living in for a millennia, like before me, before I popped up, before I was even born? These are women that are coming up with their stories, telling me about it. I'm like, why are we still living in this space, and what am I going to do about that? So we founded Ann Mother, and our mission is to break down barriers that limit a woman's choice to pursue and thrive in not only their career but also in their motherhood.
So I mean, how does that play out? Like, I mean, that plays out in so many different ways. I mean, obviously, it's not a simple fix. It's not a brand or a race organization can't just go like, oh, one thing and then it's solved.
Correct.
What are some of like the main pillars of the work that you all are doing?
Well, we have one of our resources on our website is our gold standard for contractual language. It's an easy step, and it's also a big step for brands to be able to easily adopt. So the resource has our recommended language, our best practices for implementing maternity protections within contracts. So as it existed prior, there was no maternity protections in contracts. So if a brand was looking at you and thinking you hadn't performed in the last year, because it takes 9 months, by the way.
By the way, something was happening.
There's some math involved here.
Yeah, to have a child develop, and then you must give birth, and then you recover from it. And so if your contract is within that year timeline, as it exists in many contracts, says if you don't hit these performance clauses, you are going to be cut from your contract.
Right.
What are we doing to make sure that we can ensure protections for maternity leave? This is what we want to see across, all industries. We want to fight for parental leave. We want to fight for maternity leave. And how do we do that if we don't have basic protections in place from people that we see on a mass level, which are our athletes and our entertainers.
Yeah.
And then from a race director standpoint, we are like, okay, guys, basic infrastructure for care. What does infrastructure for care look like? How do we care for folks who are lactating? You know, if we show up to an event and we are breastfeeding or expressing milk, where are the spaces of infrastructure that let us know that we belong here and that you care for us? Just like you would have medical tent, just like you would have water fountains, just like you would have bathrooms. Where are the facilities that support this very natural thing that does happen to female-bodied people?
Right.
No, that's great because, you know, and I've seen it pop up. I've seen it here. I've seen it at other bigger races. They're starting to put lactation stations up. But
Yeah.
there's not enough.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like before you had started, you know, there was limited availability. It was either a porta potty or in your car or, you know, behind a building. Hopefully nobody stumbles upon you. So I think this is the kind of work that's wonderful that you're doing.
Thank you.
And I think that people are starting to recognize it more and more all across, not just the running industry, but just all industries as well.
Yeah.
And you know, and it seems like an forget my words because I'm just trying to work through the thought. It feels like an easy oversight for someone to make, but it's such a huge factor of a new mother or any mother deciding whether they're going to go to a race or an event or compete, if they have to factor in like all these different things of how is this going to work and you know, all these different things. Like I've even heard you know, will a brand or someone be able to take care of getting the travel for the family, because like I don't want to leave my new child for 5 days to go to wherever in the world to race for you or run for your, you know, company pretty much, and have to leave my kids behind or leave my kid or my family behind because of the accommodations that aren't met, you know?
Yeah.
So it seems like a quick, easy oversight of like just not thinking about it because it's not at the forefront. We're worried about performance and blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, it's like so many people have to make really big decisions for their entire career.
Absolutely.
Because it's not like you could just say, oh, I'm gonna take it, like, you know, I'll take 16 months off really quick.
Yeah.
And then I'll just jump right back into it. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Well, good job with that number, 16 months. I like that. You know, and that's exactly it, right? Hey, you know, we love that, you know, the amount of time and then some recovery time. So that's like the big component, right? It's about the visibility. We love to talk about if you can see it, you can be it, right? And when we are talking about these very natural things that happen in life, every last one of you guys came from somebody who birthed you. You know, and this person did not stop being who they were. You know, so if we continue to put up walls and barriers from them to kind of live their lives wholly, then we are ultimately squishing out an entire demographic of people who we know have been the foundation of how we live and how we're cared for. And so we need to care for them as well. So yeah, that's just the visibility aspect is huge. And as people begin to see, like, this is something that is needed, it becomes a very natural part of how we see human existence, how we see modern, living.
We need to make it the new normal.
Yes, absolutely. The standard. You'll hear standard a lot in all the things that we are doing, because what I was told when I was really pushing back on fighting for my contracts, and when I lost it, when I said, you know, I want to have another kid, and they're like, how does this fit into like how you do a career? And I'm like, well, they're like, this is our standard contracts. I'm like, well, your standard is standard for men. It is not standard for how we are operating right now in modern society.
I mean, because it's like, you know, if you come out of college as a woman and you do well, I mean, you want to have a long career. You know, it's not like, if you could be running, you know, from 21 to 36 or whatever, that's amazing. That's great professionally, and maybe even longer. You
Absolutely.
know? So it's like you're telling me that because for the career, I have to wait until I'm wait to try to conceive until I'm like 42 or 43 or 44 or whatever that is, and that's ridiculous. When if you were, you know, a dentist, it would be fine. You'd be able to, you know, take, you know, I mean, for the most part, I mean, you'd be able to take maternity leave and come back. You know?
Well, we still have to fight for maternity leave in so many industries across
Right,
the board.
okay.
It's still not standard in a way that we need it to be seen.
Okay.
And the big thing that I do want to note is the narrative shift. So when we talk about what we need when it comes to maternity protections and when it comes to family leave, it's also about shifting the onus off of female-bodied people.
Mhm.
You know, we need for this village that is supposed to be, you know, a part of society to actually show up for us. And
Right.
that includes how we show up to work, you know, and us not having to, like you mentioned, think through being a 21-year-old walking into their new industry or their prospective industry or their dreams or their goals and thinking about what happens if.
Yeah.
And now they're walking into years and years of fear on how they potentially expand whatever
Yeah.
their North Star of happiness is for them. And I love that you mentioned longevity of careers, because that is like a dead stop for a lot of women,
Yeah.
you know, when it comes to that childbearing age, which also is the same time when your career is actually also budding in a lot of ways. There was this research that was out many years ago that was like, you know, women's careers as professional athletes are pretty much done at like 30.
Mhm.
Well, let me tell you where this research was coming from. Males, but it was also
Really?
knock knock. But it was also naming the fact that women were choosing, like,
Yeah.
how am I going to do this? Because everything that I'm seeing
I
that
gotta-
would support how I would progress in my career is telling me
Yeah.
there's nothing here for you after this.
I gotta back
Sorry.
out. Yeah.
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 And it's like, because it's like you look at like a blessed, like, you know, male athlete that's able to, you know, go through all the, like we kind of were talking to I guess the other day, that most like most athletes come out, they go track and field and they do all that, and then they kind of graduate and then they go to the marathon or whatever.
Mhm.
And that's a really long career. And
Yeah.
as they get longer and, you know, bigger into the bigger distances, then there's more money there.
Yeah.
And then I would assume that like some at some points, women have to make a decision to make jumps that maybe they wouldn't have to make more money sooner, or take contracts and things that make more money now, because they're like, you know, I can't be doing this still at this point because I've, you know, part of my goals in life is to have a couple kids or whatever it is, right? So it's like, it's so many different, you know, decisions or ways that this plays into, you know, as a woman having to make decisions that men don't have to. But in your work, have you found that dealing with these companies, have you found that like there is also a need to push for more women-led companies or women-owned companies?
Absolutely.
Because of because of the blind spots that, well, I'm not, it's probably too
Just
nice
yes.
to say blind spot. But you know
Just
what I'm
yes.
saying? Okay.
Just yes
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
answer to that. Women in leadership,
Yeah.
not just, you know, allowing them in the room or a seat at the table, hand them the mic,
Yeah.
you know, and not only that, start implementing what they say into your playbook.
Yeah.
You know, this is not just to have a woman in the room so that you fit some sort of DEI initiative.
Yeah.
It's like, we need you here because we need you.
Right.
And, you know, and it's obvious as we see things right now. I want to have you all look at the last 2 to 3 years and then walk into 2024 and look at these Olympic trials and all the folks that you're going to see at the Olympic Games in this next year. A lot of eyeballs are going to be on the women athletes. We've now have 15% of coverage for women's sports. That's a big bump in the last 3 years from it being at 4%, right? And a lot of these female athletes that you're going to see are also folks who have started their families, you know, and they are
So
doing it. They're
exciting.
making it happen. And then there are brands that are supporting them to be able to do the work. You're going to see them with babies on their hips. You know, you're going to see them with partners by their side also supporting their work. But what we want to know is, are the brands behind them supporting them being able to do that? Or did they say, it's time for me to also show you I can do this?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a very big difference between, you know, us continuing to carry all of the load on our backs to show you we can do this. And then behind the scenes, we're still under supported.
Yeah. Yeah. Like still struggling to figure it out. But then from the outside it looks, oh, this was so great. Do a couple articles. Oh, you did it. You came back and you did well.
Exactly.
But it's like, it's like you said, are they being taken care of properly as they would if they?
It's great that you
hadn't
came
made that
back, but
decision?
you know, was it an easy comeback, or we have to do the push to get to where to this point?
And ask the questions. What can we do to better support you?
I don't want to make you late for your flight, so I want to make sure.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
I do want to ask real quick.
Yeah.
How can people get involved? Where can people donate to Ann Mother?
Yes.
To support the work that you're doing?
Yes. Well, you guys can all follow our work at www.andmother.org. Hit that menu, hit that donate button, and donate. If you want to do recurring donation, that'd be lovely. We love that. All the brands that are here, take a look at what your policies are. Take a look at how you could better support, your families within your industries. I mean, within your company, and how you could better help impact the industry. Within brands that are sponsoring athletes, take a look at your individual athlete contracts. Do you have a maternity clause in there that actually protects this athlete and lets them know you can also become a mother within your career, and we will support you to safely return to your sport?
That's a good point, to safely return.
Yeah. You're not going to be under, pressure to harm yourself. We don't want that for you. We care for you, and we know that you can do this with our support.
Awesome.
Heard.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Go catch that flight. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing what the surprise is in Orlando.
Yes. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram and mother_org. AND mother.
But just to say really quick, I appreciate the work you're doing. Gary
you.
and I are both fathers to daughters. So I appreciate women like you that get out there and put themselves forward and push for, not only yourself, but just so many others. So thanks for the work that you're doing.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
you to you too. It's really important that, it's not just the women that are fighting for our rights. We need our allies too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. So I was gonna say it. You took them all. All right. Well, that wraps the morning session. That was really great.
That was awesome.
Are you happy with the morning?
The morning went really well.
I think we ended it with
multiple great guests. Ended it great. Surprise guests.
Yeah.
Which went really well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janae, for getting 3 dots for us.
That was great. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, 3 Dots, for jumping onto the live stream last minute. And then also thanks to all the rest of the guests that made this morning so excellent. Now it's time for us to go get some food or something. And then I think that I'm going to probably drink as much coffee as possible between then and now.
Yeah, we're going to go caffeine it up.
Now and then.
Yeah. So we'll be back at 1:30 Central Standard Time here in Austin, Texas at the running event.
All right. See you in a little bit.
Thanks, everyone.
Peace.